Ha ha ha. Happy Monday. Let's do a stream. Let's do a panel. Let's do something. Anyway, I'm here. Um, I have nothing today. It's a busy weekend. So I'm just hanging out with you guys, doing an open panel. So hop on up. The link should be pinned. And let's get this thing going. In the meantime, I did see where there was a shooting at a Christian school in Wisconsin this morning. It looks like the shooter's dead, but so are a few other people. See, this is why I'm so anti-violence. I'm anti-violence in general. I don't think violence is a constructive way of solving most problems. I'm happy to have this, to leave the monopoly on violence to the state and not have individual citizens take it into their hands. So all of these people that cheer violence in any form are like even joke violence, like Kathy Griffin Trump heads, or people cheered the Trump assassination. There's videos going around the internet of violence towards people that people cheer. All of that really disconcerts me and alienates me from those people. Hey, Daniel Barry, happy Monday. Nothing's up here. We were talking about the shooting in Wisconsin and violence in general, I guess. I don't know. I can't say I'm not a violent person. I'm not a stranger to the temptation to violence. But being part of a civilized society, I've worked very hard to not act on that temptation. I think it's regressive when we give into it within ourselves and when we encourage it in others and in society. So violence is it's one of those very clear moral lines for me. It's not a gray area. If you're considering violence or excited by violence, like actual violence, I don't mind video game violence, movie violence, rap music, that kind of stuff. But real life violence, when it crosses over into real life, if that gets you off or excites you somehow, we're just in very different places, morally and psychologically. All right, let's see what else is going on. The drones are still flying over New Jersey. The German government is collapsing. Wow. Chancellor Olaf Scholz loses confidence vote. So what does that mean? The government collapsed. He lost the vote. So they do a new election. Oh, February 23rd of next year. Well, I hope they figure it out. Oh, Trump is holding a news conference. Or held a news conference. TikTok is appealing to the Supreme Court to block that ban. I guess that's about it. Chief advisor to New York City Mayor Eric Adams resigns and expects to be indicted. Wow, what happened? Is it government corruption? What does she do? She's been enveloped. Ingrid Lewis Martin. She's been enveloped in criminal investigations. Oh, receiving gifts. Something like that. Anyway, that's what I see on my news feed. What's going on in your world? Let me know in the comments or come up and chat about it. Otherwise, I'm going to monologue for half an hour or so and then call it a day. One conversation that's been coming up in Discord is, and it kind of ties into something I'm gonna eventually try to present on mythology, but religion and like atheist turning to religion, or turning to something outside of atheism to find the thing that atheism doesn't provide. And really, what I want to touch on is and I've talked about this so many times before, but the two different ways that the human mind has, at least the modern human mind, like the last several thousand years, has of processing or making sense of the world. There's the mythological way and the logical way, which developed. The mythological way preceded the logical way, so there's a specific historical development. The logical way of approaching the world developed after the mythological way was already established and the norm. So humans understood their world and themselves very differently many thousands of years ago, before this other way of understanding the world began to develop, mostly in Greece, Athens, around the time of Socrates, the pre-Socratics. A very specific way of looking at the world and understanding the world began to develop that was different from the mythological way. And so a couple of thousand years later, those two modes are still with us, the logical and the mythological. Many thinkers have talked about it, Jordan Peterson being one of the latest. And so eventually I want to find a way to present the historical origins of both views and trace the development of the forms that they take in our world today to kind of help us understand the stories that we live in, live with, tell ourselves, hold us together as a people, a culture, a society, etc. So it begins and ends in stories. And the journey of how we got from there to here is what I'm most interested in. And I think has epistemological benefit for helping us to understand ourselves today. Let's see, instinct, passion, reason. Yeah, that's a good point, because they're kind of two features of the human psyche that show up in us as well. The mythological is similar to the way we think in dreams or spontaneous imagery, and the logical is a very specific, active, focused way of thinking that you have to kind of learn or acquire and engage in with intention. And there were Freud had two models of his mind. He revised it along the way and replaced one with the other. And I can't remember which one came first and what he changed it into. But I would say anytime you're looking at models, even the Freudian ones, although I think Freud was a mythologist, I think a lot of Freud his value is as a mythology of who we are and how we function more than actual science. I guess that's another way of putting at it. You talk about is that the right and left brain? Because there's also the limbic brain and the more advanced prefrontal neocortex, where we do our kind of higher human type thinking. But anytime you're dealing with models, diagrams, theories, that kind of stuff, you're kind of working with that logical part of the mind. At least in the modern world. I think I've tried to watch Westworld. I didn't get into it. Is that the it's like cowboy, robot, sci-fi, western. Was Will Smith in it? I did start watching Foundation. Oh, yeah, I know what's happening today. There's a movie called The Social Dilemma. Hey, Vinny, what's up? That someone turned me on to last night. I had never heard of it before. It's a documentary, and it's all about social media and how it works and algorithms. And I want to watch it so bad. I think it has applications for even what happens here on YouTube. And so I'm going to be showing that in the Discord today after this panel. So when the panel ends, there'll be we'll do a watch party in Discord for this Social Dilemma documentary. Came out in 2020. It covers the psychological underpinnings and manipulation techniques by which it claims social media and technology companies addict users. People's online activity is watched, tracked, and measured by these companies, who then use this data to build artificial intelligent models that predict the actions of their users. And as he says, there's three main goals of the tech companies. The engagement goal, to keep people engaged and glued to their screen. The growth goal, to keep them coming back and bringing their friends, which is what I'm trying to do with this channel. Maybe I could learn something on how to grow a channel. And the advertisement goal, to get eyeballs on people's advertising so they can, in the process of all this, so they can sell ads. I've talked before about, hey Spike, I've talked before about, yeah, that's what Joe was talking about in Discord, how there's a trend in atheism. A lot of them are going to church now, are becoming cultural Christians. Joe himself adopted Stoicism. Because atheism, to the extent that it's founded on rationalism, science, empiricism, that type of stuff, the scientific worldview, science can only tell us so much, and mostly about the physical world. Science can't really tell us how to live as humans, what our ethics and values should be. It's not a guide to any kind of moral path. So if that's all your worldview is based on, it makes sense to me that you're going to turn to something like religion or philosophies like Stoicism. In my case, Satanism itself was an attempt to go beyond atheism. I've always said that it was like a transition out of atheism, and now if I try to give it up and go back to just being a plain atheist, I can't do it. I'm losing something in the process of doing that. So Satanism, whatever it is, gives me some kind of something that just the secular humanist atheistic worldview was not able to provide. Oh, it came out just about the time of the lockdown. That'll be interesting. I can't wait to see it. I'm here for a panel if people want one, but I'm also kind of hoping that we don't get a lot of people so I could go watch this movie. But I'll keep it open for half an hour or so. But I think I've talked about before, my ex who worked for, hey Ricardo, hello, how are you? He worked for a video game company, and one of the big ones actually, and they spent a lot of money. They would hire psychologists, researchers, scientists, PhDs, top experts in their field, etc., to neuroscientists to analyze how to make their games more addictive. There's a precise a formula almost that they can build into these video games to get people addicted at just the right rate and keep them coming back, and what releases the endorphins and the chemicals that keep you playing the game, etc. They put a lot of effort and money. So I imagine if they're doing it for video games, and this I got firsthand for someone that worked in the field, I can't imagine they're not also doing it for social media. You want to go pro? Like in what way? Like do a channel? Or with your music? Let's talk about it. Hey, Angeline. Good to see you again. Hope you got some rest. I did a, I had a long nap yesterday, and I woke up like 11 o'clock at night, and I did a live vertical stream, and it went very well. We had a nice little intimate community show up, and then I went over on Shift Happens. Let me drop her channel. She does some wild streams. We had a really good chat on her stream last night, and I ended up being there all night. I didn't get to bed till like 4:30 in the morning. Hello, Mr. Card. Well, I'm not angry today. Believe it or not, I'm not really that angry of a person. I get frustrated periodically, and I spurg out, but I don't carry a lot of anger. I'm really not. I don't hold grudges. I'm really good at letting things go as long as I can neutralize the immediate threat to my environment and either walk away or resolve it or get it away from me. I'm very good at moving on after that. Are you talking about like playing like busking or doing live local shows? Like what do you have there, pubs? And or doing it video, like putting it together a channel and transmitting it through digitally through social media. You could do a Bandcamp page too if you have ways to record. And there's all kind of audio software now. I played around with some of the DAWs. They call them digital audio workstations. Like what is it? Audacity. They have a whole bunch of them. I played around with them during COVID. I took a songwriting course. That was my first time using Zoom. I had to create a Zoom account to take this songwriting class with this artist that I really admired growing up, and I was so excited to get the opportunity to. I'm not a musician. I'm not a songwriter or anything. It just sounded like a cool way to interact with this very creative person that was kind of influential on my life growing up. And so I signed up for the class because it was open to non-musicians, like anybody who wanted to take it. They would find something for you to do with it. And I ended up writing the lyrics to a song, and I downloaded some of the audio software to try to set it to music, but I have no talent for that. And I actually can't find the lyrics. I put them somewhere. They're in an email, a document, they're somewhere, but I cannot find the lyrics. But it was all about... I don't even remember the name of the song, but it was written about lockdown, how the world was changing, we were all in a new situation, and it was a chance to emerge from it into a different world and create a different world for ourselves. Like we were leaving the old world behind, and we were transitioning to some new world that was open to whatever we can envision. What actually turned out happening is everybody just went back to the same old life they had before lockdown. But the song envisioned a different possibility than that. So it was all about like leaving an old world and entering a new world that we create for ourselves as a collective, like global society. Oh, you are on Bandcamp. Feel free to drop a link. If you send me a link on Discord, I can drop it in the chat for you. So. Yeah, it really was, and I met a lot of musicians that did write actual songs, and we used to do open mic. That's how I started Zooming. Actually, I after the class was over, I offered to keep the Zooms going, where we could still meet periodically throughout the week and still keep the community that had built up in this class going. The class was like for 2 weeks, and then some of us, after the 2 weeks was over, continued to meet and Zoom, and it was like this little artist collective. And we did open mic nights, we did writing classes, all kind of cool stuff. And it was all about using creativity to kind of self-actualize and improve mental health. I was interested in the mental health benefits of creativity. And it was a really cool group for a while, but that was also the group that at some point during the group, the George Floyd riots happened. Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility book dropped, and everybody started reading. And all of a sudden, it's where the wokeness started to show up. And then I started to become kind of estranged from this very cool, positive, like creative, personal growth oriented community that I had helped to create. I was suddenly becoming marginalized within that own community, and I eventually got canceled by a couple of the people in it. And that was my first experience. That was the first time in my life, actually, that I had been ostracized from a social group based strictly on my political opinions. Usually, if I'm getting kicked out of a group or if I'm leaving a group, it's because of a specific action that I've taken to the group or somebody in the group. And it happened very rarely. But just for my political opinions. And that was kind of a wake up call for me that could happen because I had gotten really close to these people. And I was surprised that was the reason that this ended for me. And that was also about the time I started discovering the intellectual dark web, all the anti woke groups and all that. So it was like normal life, COVID lockdown, creative people from all over the world, artists, musicians, mental health, all that, and then cancellation, and then kind of recovering from there and having to figure out a new direction. And that was kind of the turning point that put me where I am today. Vinny Pots and Pans, what have you been up to?
Salute, Jeff. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. How are you? It's good to see you.
Same here, pal. And one time at band camp, every time I hear that band camp,
Oh.
and one time at band camp,
Well, tell us you have a band camp too.
I don't even know what that is, except
Oh, it's a
people go
music
learn
site where artists can create their own music and sell it directly to the public without the middleman.
I must be doing it wrong. I just got a camp and I tell them I can play an instrument, and then we all eat s'mores by the campfires. I never forget
That
while we're
sounds
there.
fun, actually. I haven't been camping in years.
We get
What's new with you? What's been going on?
nothing much. Same thing, just more meditation and having a really good outlook on life.
I think last time we talked that portal was opening. Is that still going on?
Yeah, there's portals everywhere.
Well, you sound good. You sound very
Oh, good.
like calm and spiritualized.
Yeah. That's how I get when I come back in from dealing with the human race, doing some errands and shit. Yeah.
What's your take on love as like a spiritual force or a healing force? We it came up in chat last night, and
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of been my mind has been moving a little bit in that direction.
Yeah. Well, the meaning of love to me goes, hand in hand with God.
Is love and God the same thing, or is it
Yes.
so like non-religious people or non-believers can just focus on love and basically get the same benefit?
Yeah. Everybody's unique and different to their perspective of this plane that we're on called Earth. But yeah, I mean, if you have love, I mean, and it's within the right intentions of love, with no malice behind the love, and thinking that, yeah, well, I say that because people say, oh, well, I gave you this, that, and the other, and they think that's love. Although it's a sign of love, I mean, but even just having to mention to somebody that all the things that you buy for them or do for them, it's not really love in a way. It's kind of like you turning around getting credit for stuff like that. So, but it is definitely a starting point for anybody who doesn't believe in a higher power. So love is key for a successful journey on this plane.
It seems so hard to not only achieve but to maintain. I did a stream once on the like the Greeks have I think 9 or 11 different types of love, and we did a stream looking at each one of the types. So I know that love is a complex, multifaceted concept.
Right. But I'll always say love wins. You never win anything opposite of love.
I don't know. Sometimes it's I think there's
Let
a
me ask
risk
you
to love, and sometimes you could come down on the losing end
well, there's different
in a pretty
listen,
big way.
when and when I mean love, you can still tell that person or things to go fuck themselves, and you still love them, right?
In a loving way. I think that's true.
Yeah, or whatever way. But there's different stages to. I'm only speaking from my experience. That's all I have.
Hmm.
So there are people and things in life that I love, and then there's things that I'm in love with, and I think there's a huge difference in what I'm in love with than what I love, because the things that I'm in love with, well, that's like for me like the second higher tier of the importance of such thing in my life. And then the things that I just love, like I love, a turkey, or I love bacon on my bacon, egg, and yeah, I love that. So that's the form of my definition for that kind of a love. Now, those things that I love, can I do without those things? Sure. I could do without bacon on my bacon, egg, and cheese. Sure. Can I go years and years without speaking to a loved one, as we both have experiences on? Absolutely. Still love them, not in love with that person, but I still care for them. I still wish everybody love and blessings and to do right and to achieve the highest goal they could possibly can while they're here. Um, but otherwise, I could still tell them, like anybody, like you pick anybody in politics or Hollywood, whatever. There's people that you love that because they create a good art form, but the whole other side of that person that we never get to know, that person can go fuck themselves. You know. So I guess if you don't have the hate, right? Like I've pretty much ixnayed that word out of my vocabulary. I've learned to not say hate. Like, oh, I hate that on this, or I hate
Oh, I love that word. I don't think I could do without it.
because because it's not really a true definition of what I'm trying to communicate to whoever I'm saying that word to, even to myself. Even as a thought. But words have a vibrational energy, and when you
Don't say
speak of
that.
things and use certain words and cadences, it gets collected in what I would say scientifically, what they would call it is an electromagnetic spectrum, where things that are alike are attracted to one another, no matter what it is, because everything emits a frequency. Everything is
I know
going.
we're into vibes and energy again.
Mhm. I mean, right down to clothes, Jeff. How about this while you're Googling around over there? Google up the frequency of clothing.
Clothing.
Yeah, like just and then it would be kind of unique to see like what your t-shirt's made out of, what the shirt that you're wearing
Well,
above your
Frank
t,
thinks my shirts are made out of my grandmother's curtains.
or Elmer Fudd's, hand-me-downs.
What frequency of clothing? What
Yeah,
fabrics support your health? High frequency fabrics like linen, wool, organic. Okay, this is collapsing my brain.
this is
That
gonna be cool
fabrics
though.
have frequencies.
Yep, everything has a frequency, and if you drape yourself in certain clothing, now the frequencies will be pushed out. But there's also, let's say the shirt that you're wearing above your t-shirt. Let's just say for an example, like that shirt that you're wearing above your t-shirt there, let's say that green is a really good frequency and it's pushing out. But
It's
the other
natural. It's like
shirt,
a hunter
well,
or olive green, like nature,
okay.
color of nature.
Well, just for this little experiment, we'll say that that shirt is producing 50 hertz of love, right? Let's just say. And then the shirt that you're wearing on top of it produces 80 hertz of doubt. And so it kind of cancels out that t-shirt. Not just saying because it's wearing over it, but there's certain frequencies will just become a stalemate because at the most interesting spectrums, you have the full positive, which is love, and the full negative, which is hate, just like a battery. But there's an equal point to that. So if you think of a battery and you think the positive side is the positive, the negative side is the negative, but somewhere within that double A battery that you're thinking of in your mind, in the middle, that positive and negative has to meet. There's a beginning and an end to that positive and negative, and that's that middle line. That's that line where frequency and vibration meet to create and get stronger in the direction of either if it's going to be joining the electromagnetic spectrum of positivity or it's going to go down the spiral, the vertical staircase of negative. And that to me is like on emotions and anything that you look at. I look at it where is it positive to my eyes to see, or is it not positive? And then if I like it, well, then I want more of that. And then you could just be saying it in your mind. And we do it all the time subconsciously when you're thinking in your eye. I mean, when you just look around a room, on our perspective, we just think we're looking around a room, but through your eyes, in a super, super slow mo form, which is how the universe, I feel, with other properties, such as these are the frequencies that gather and collect information, they move very slowly, like the hands of time. And it's like a tapestry of, it's kind of like when you saw, I don't want to reference Matrix movie, but Neo towards the end, he got so good at what he was doing, and the hardest things that he could ever do, he's now doing in slow fucking motion at the end, right? He's just like slowly moving his hands, like ooh, easy, as he's beating up everybody. And so that's kind of like what I think when it comes to stuff like that. I
So
don't know.
ugly people bring people's vibration. This sounds like both incredibly gay and incredibly autistic. I feel like I should be able to relate to it better than I do.
Well, it's
Although I
not
do
like
think I
you
had a
have to
pretty sweet
relate.
high frequency jacket on yesterday.
Well, you see, the thing is, Jeff, I just mentioned that because it's just food for thought. Like, who would have thought? Like, so if to explain to somebody that everything has a propertied frequency, and what a fun way to start with clothing, right? The higher the brand name is usually more expensive. But when you look out or look up the frequency of that particular brand's sweater, such as like a Tommy Hilfiger or a polo, compare it to another not so good frequency T-shirt, and the truer the fabric, the more positive I find that fabric could be from. And forget the fabric; it's anything, right? You look at an old home compared to a home that's built today. An older home, let's say in the 40s and 50s, pretty fucking solid building, nice. Cardboard cutout structures, cookie cutted fucking neighborhood building construction today of homes. It's like paper mache to me.
Yeah.
It's just it looks nice, but it's cheaply built. It's there's no structure to it. There's no oomph to it. There's no I don't know. And like I said, that's just my opinion about it. But that's how I look at things like that, where it comes like a food source, right? Like a food source, the further away it gets from where it was when it actually was born, like let's say a pepper or an apple out of a tree, wherever that ingredient is going to go down the line into making something, it gets further and further away from its true properties. It'll always hold the property, it'll just be weaker. So if you mix that good frequency of that nice natural food with some bullshit chemicals and preservatives and but the boo to get you in the frozen food section so it could last fucking 10 years, well, it's not as good as it would be if it was fresh out the gate, you know.
So don't be poor and don't be ugly. Is what I'm getting from this.
Don't
Your
be
your dollar store fabrics are throwing off everybody
you
else's
get,
frequency.
you get don't get bored. Don't get ugly. Well, ugly. You know what poor is to me? And Madonna said it best in a song. Poor is the man who depends upon his permissions of another.
She got that from Oscar Wilde.
Okay. Well, wherever she gets it, I think she got a lot of it back there. You know what I mean, Jeff? You know, material girl. Um, but it is a very true statement. You know, if I have to depend upon the permission of another in order to be happy, for my emotional state, we're talking here, then you're poor. Because definitely, if you're so empty inside that you can't look at any good thing in the middle of the shittiest fucking thing that's going on around you to keep your headspace from not falling into that illusion
Yeah,
of what this plane is showing in front of you, because you could have a plane crash and 50 people could watch it, and you're going to get 50 different feelings and perspectives and stories and things that don't coincide with what another
like
person
in
saw.
Lost.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's like anything else, Jeff. Everybody has opinions like they're assholes, as they should. But always remember, it's their opinion.
Oh yeah, I do
You know,
remember
I
that.
mean, true happiness is just smiling in the face of any other human being, knowing inside your head that you got the full house at the poker table and that person's holding the fucking bucket shoot like nothing. You know what I mean? And
What?
and you could be living in a cardboard box. The guy in the cardboard or girl in the cardboard box, from anybody's perspective, like, oh man, but you're not really in that person's body. Maybe that person is there for a reason. Their eyes are there to see, to communicate back to the source. And I say communicate back to the source, the true source of love, which is God, which is what rules this plane. Now, there's a lot of fuckery that goes around. That's why we have free will as people. But it's not my job to find my happiness or depend upon my happiness for somebody else to do something,
Mm,
or for me to tell them to do something in order for me to be happy. No. My true happiness can only come from within. And I'll
yeah,
always say the divinity within ourselves. Because you are your own astrological plane with inside your body on a cell level, right to the biggest of frequencies of sitting down right here having a wonderful conversation on this, whatever this material, spirits in the material world. So, like the police said, like Sting said,
we
yeah,
are
we are
spirits
spirits
living in a
in the
material
material
world.
world. Now, if you ever look at the lyrics of that song, beautiful song.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, they can't get any clearer than that. This is, like I said, a bus stop, but it's a bus stop, a
it's more like
very
the
short
terminal.
term, where if you where that bus is going to eventually, because we're all going to pass, we're all going to transition, I call it, okay, because you never die. There's no, ladies and gentlemen, this is my opinion, I never die, and I'm waiting for my next bus to pick me up to take me to the new school, and some people are going to be at that bus stop waiting for another bus that's going to take them, and I feel they'll have, it's options of recycling back through, whether they want to. It's not an easy, if you know what I'm saying. It's not and I'm not big on reincarnation shit, but it could be because in a way where I feel that we have all decided to be here. I'm coming to that conclusion, Jeff, where my non-physical Vinny said, "All right, God, I'm going to go in there and I'll do that for you. And I'm going to beat that game. I'm going to get that system. I'm going to fuck them up and spread love and compassion as best I can in the face, in the midst of the shittiest fucking people that this fucking society could throw at me." And when I reach that level, which I believe I have, Jeff, it's just like the veil upon my eyes have been getting more open and clearer to see, where it's almost like, whether if I'm in the regular open air or if I'm underwater, I could still open my eyes and see just as good. And I'll take a union break salute, triple four. How you doing, brother?
What's up,
Triple
man?
five. Hey, Zach.
Yeah, it's a triple four. All right, let me go take a union break. Welcome
Okay, now
aboard.
we hear what Zach
Welcome
Well,
has
aboard,
to
triple
say
four.
well,
about
no,
love.
he was saying all this stuff, and he doesn't believe in reincarnation. But think about what they say in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The Bardo Thodol. You at the moment of death, you're confronted with this clear light. They say, and it's you as God. And if you are terrified of it or afraid of it, then you don't enter into it, and then you get forced into other paths, which eventually lead to reincarnation, because there's something that you still have to work out within your own psyche. It's something that you've seen that you think you need to work on, and that's why reincarnation happens.
Reincarnation takes too long. That he does make a good point about attitude and mindset, and like finding the positive, because that's one of the few things you can control. You're in charge of your own attitude or mindset or the way you're looking at something. Hey, Leggy, thank you. Good to see you.
But you have to look at yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even Socrates said that self-examination is the key to everything else.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I
don't
would
know.
agree.
I don't know if it's good for me to hang out here like this. I'm feeling inspired to become a more loving person, and it feels weird and cringy. I
What do
guess
you mean?
that's the resistance you have to work through.
Well, I mean, I'm afraid of being alone, and that's something that I'm gonna have to work through. My bird is getting old, my mother's getting old, and that's all I have. So, it's gonna be a big fucking adjustment, so to speak.
It'll
When
just be
things,
you in the place by yourself.
yeah,
Because you could always get another bird. Are you ever really alone when there's YouTube?
don't say I could always get another bird, because this one was particularly special.
Uh,
He's smarter than most fucking people I know.
is
You
he a
know,
crow?
no, it's a cockatiel,
Ah,
little parrot.
yeah. I'm
So
sorry.
I heard there was $100,000 raised for Luigi's legal bills. Was that you? You did a fundraiser for
Uh,
Luigi?
what the fuck, Leggy? God
Wow,
damn, man. Hang on. This you get
look at
some
that.
major fanfare here. Wow. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah,
This might be the best Christmas so
gift you've
far.
ever done.
I'm whew. That set a record, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Leggy, thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. Wow. Just as you were talking about the $100,000 Luigi fund that came in,
yeah, right.
not a penny of it came from me. I'll tell you that. How much did you chip in?
None,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm an observer. I don't get involved in this shit.
You were observing and judging the other day, but
Oh,
that's okay because I think that we all judge. I don't think we can avoid it.
I
So
have
there's
my
nothing wrong with
opinion.
it.
I have my opinion on it, but I'm not gonna I mean, the kid has all kinds of money. His parents could pay for his legal
Yeah, that's
bills.
true.
It's not my problem, but I do thank him for what he did because he raised awareness.
Dude, you're not right. That's not right. That's not how
I
you
know
raise
it's not.
awareness. You go make a sign and march or something. You don't go murder people just to raise
People have been doing
awareness.
that though, and it didn't work. So now what? You know?
There's plenty of ways to raise awareness in a civilized society without violence.
Yeah,
You
and
could
maybe
say
now
that the George Floyd riots were raising awareness. Or,
they were, and it made no difference.
yeah, so this like it's a futile tactic. Stop doing it.
I, I
It's
agree.
not loving.
Shooting someone in the back isn't loving? What are you talking about?
Not to me. Maybe in Canada, but not to me. Yeah, really.
What's a Substack?
Oh, it's a social media platform where you could blog, write articles,
No,
make money in the process.
no, I'm
Yeah, in
not that.
fact, Joe, have you thought about a Substack? You might do well on that. It. I remember Take a Knee vaguely. That's when the football. What's his face?
Copernic
The
or
black
somebody?
dude. Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Copernic?
Yeah, him. What was it raising awareness of though? Was it racism? How
Yeah,
racist the world
yeah, yeah,
is?
yeah. It was
That's
like
not
a whole.
awareness. That's false belief.
Yeah, 444. Nothing says I love you than a nice round in the spine back there. You know,
Right.
I love you
Well,
to
I think
death.
y'all are both getting reincarnated.
I love you to death.
Well,
We're gonna be reincarnated as Smith and Wesson rounds.
the Punisher. Hey, look, the Punisher.
That's it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I saw that on somebody's pickup truck the other day. A big, like they took up his whole back window. You know.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of cops use that symbol though, and I don't get it because there's a T-shirt out there and it says "The Punisher hates cops, you dumb fuck." You know,
Is
like
that
so.
is it from a
Yeah,
comic
he's a
book?
comic book character. He's like a vigilante that goes around taking out the mob and everybody, and
Oh, now it's
he's a
starting to make
real
sense.
Now they
he's a
need
real
you.
badass, you know.
Now you're gonna have
Did they
somebody.
ever make a movie of him or TV show?
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, there's a Netflix series that was 2 seasons long, and it's probably, in my opinion, the best representation of the Punisher ever. That one was good. It's got John Bernthal in it. He was in The Walking Dead and
I don't
other
think I know.
movies.
He's the Punisher.
I
Yeah.
heard.
Bob, you don't know
Leggy.
what you're talking about, Bob.
Why? What's the best Punisher movie then?
I don't know. I didn't even know what you were talking about. I'm just saying.
Just hopping on to spread holiday cheer.
Jeff, I
Yeah.
heard Marvel Comics are coming out with a new character. He's called the CEO Killer.
Yeah, really. No,
Stop.
Good job.
We're
they should
headed for
call him.
dark
He's going
times,
from rooftop
guys.
to rooftops, just sniping down all these fucking CEOs.
Look, I
I've been
think we
calling
need to
him
bring
the
back
Adjuster.
dueling laws.
The
We
adjuster,
need to
yeah.
have
And
we need to have
triple
laws
four
where
by
we can
day.
duel it out.
Sorry, like 444 by day. He's a chiropractor.
Yeah, no, Leggy. We were talking about the other day about like
He's the adjuster.
consensual violence
Getting your
as
spine corrected during the day, fighting crime at
Exactly.
night.
I feel like if Bob and Vinny had an issue, them two old geezers should be able to go out back,
Oh,
swing it
geez.
out, and fucking, and then have a beer afterwards.
well. What if there's no afterwards for one of them?
Well, then I mean, that's all on them. I mean,
I'm an old
if you so,
geezer.
it's like that cop, that fucking Mexican fella that got charged with fucking uh manslaughter because the fucking cop had a heart attack.
What?
Like,
No.
yeah, this was a little while ago, but yeah, there was a cop. He was the guy was he didn't understand English and shit, and the cop tried to do something, and the guy kind of resisted a little bit. And the long skinny of things, the cop wind up having a heart attack, and they charged the dude with manslaughter because the cop had to uh uh where he had to chase him or use force or whatever the fuck uh, what the hell's the
That's
word? He had to
ridiculous.
strain himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he get convicted? Did it
I
stick?
don't know. Actually, I don't know
That's a
whatever
bullshit
happened to
Let,
that
let
charge.
me
case.
look it up.
That's a
God,
bullshit charge.
wow.
Yeah. If I'm wrestling
Cause I
around
only
with
ever seen the video on YouTube of it on
if I'm
police
wrestling
activity.
around with a bad guy and I have a heart attack, well, that's not on him or her.
Hmm.
But you wouldn't be exerting yourself but for the actions of the suspect.
Yeah, what
But
Yeah,
that's your
but
But I
job.
guess that's
That's
part
your
of the job
job.
as well.
Yeah, it's your fucking job. If you can't do the
I mean,
job,
it
then what are you
depends. Did the
doing there?
guy get the cop on his back and fucking start choking him out? That
no,
would maybe be called
no,
for.
Was
no.
he a
The guy just
teenager? Virgilio? Farm worker,
it
18
was
year
a
old.
Hispanic fella.
Yeah, Virgilio Aguiar Mendez.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds Spanish.
Like, watch the
He's
video.
Mayan, actually.
Watch the video. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
a
kind of a
lineage.
fucked up. It is kind of a fucked up deal. Like, I mean, it's a catch-22. Maybe if the guy was understood English, was a little bit more cooperative, whatever. But I mean, in the long short of things, if not that guy, the next guy he encountered, good chances
They're
he would have
calling
had
him a
that.
teenager, but they say he's 18 years old. That's adult.
Well, I mean, he's still
Ah,
technically.
case dismissed against Florida teen migrant accused of homicide, March 1st, 2024.
Good, so
So it
they
looks
didn't
like they
charge him.
threw it out.
Yeah. And one time at band camp?
Stop.
Every time I hear that, I just think of that movie.
Well, if y'all want to live in like Mad Max world, y'all feel free. I'm gonna stay
Ah,
in civilization. Y'all
I don't
can
like the dress code.
have your little Thunderdome and work it out.
I don't know. Everybody looks terrible in what they were wearing. They all look like
Yeah, the very low energy fabrics. I'll tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah. The human,
Jeff, you realize if there was
their
ever
true
a
skin,
purge,
Jeff.
if there was ever a purge, you would probably be one of the first people gone.
If there was a
Because you're
purge,
so like,
probably so. But a lot of
just
people don't
because
like
you
me. I've
like,
become a target for a lot of that.
yeah.
Well, there was a purge back in 1936, 38, and they got rid of gay people and all Polish people and, and political dissidents. And
You
it could
feel like
happen.
you would survive a purge? Like, what are the
Well, I
qualities
mean,
that would make one a target?
I think I would withstand it better than you, just because
Oh,
one, I'm not afraid to pick up a rifle and defend myself if I had to,
Well, I'm
or
not
a,
afraid to do it.
you
I
know.
voluntarily choose to not do it because I think
But
there are
I
better
think though
options. But
your
if
fight or
I were in a
flight.
survival situation, I wouldn't have any scruples to
I
defending
picture
myself.
I
That's right.
picture
I
Go
like
ahead,
still
a
Jeff.
think you
Go
walking
have the
ahead.
aggressiveness in
Make
it
my
to check.
day.
Well, keep think
If it
good.
came right down to it, I don't think you would
Good.
have
Keep
it in you.
thinking that. That's going to be my secret weapon.
I picture a Walking Dead situation where Jeff is like, he doesn't want to hurt anybody, but then when the zombies start coming, he's like this master marksman who just blasts the shit out of them.
He's like, go ahead, you zombies. Make my day, huh? I'm usually pretty passive, but you guys set me over the edge. Messing up my lawn and you're being all filthy in the streets. And all you hear is click clack, and Jeff goes, what's a good line? Sayonara. Ah, that's a stupid.
Bye, girl.
Bye,
Girl,
girl.
bye.
Yeah, you gotta get the a purge. Yeesh. Can they purge all the fucking shit people have in their fucking garage where they can't even park their car in the garage? Can
Oh,
they
the
have a purge
hoarders.
like that?
They'll probably be the safest of all. They have to go through all
And
that
all the
junk just
people
to
you ever
get
see,
to
they
them.
got this
Yeah,
beautiful
right.
house.
They never reach him.
They got beautiful homes and shit, but as soon as that garage door opens up, it's like shit starts falling out of it. They can't even park their cars in there and shit. How about a purge of the fucking garage? Can we
Oh,
do that?
look, Zach, you have some drama.
I
Speaking
know.
of
I
purge.
don't understand. He was gonna come up on my panel and he didn't. Well, something was wrong with his.
Well, he says, stay here. You
I
got it
know.
coming.
I know. I'm gonna get it.
The Walking Dead are just misunderstood. They just need love.
Yeah, that's it, Joe.
And
Purge
brains.
the hoarders 2025 and beyond. I mean, the amount of shit. I guess that's on my brain because I saw my neighbor's garage door go up the other day, and I'm like, oh my god. Well, if they like, to each his own, right? Yeah, you look at the Hoarder show. I don't know if you ever watched an episode.
No, I have hoarders in my family. I grew up watching hoarding.
But
I'm
it's like
too familiar with it.
I mean, there's different levels. Obviously, they show you the real,
It's the extreme levels.
But geez, some people they're just not happy unless they got a car on cinder blocks with a lot of weeds growing through it on their front lawn.
Yeah, they had an old lady in the town I lived in. They had to send the cops to her house about once a year and force her to clean her car, her yard. She had the car parked out front with shit in the car, and the yard was filled up with junk. It was like Sanford and Son. And every year they'd have to go and force her to clean it.
That's what I sing in my head when I drive by places like that.
You fish eye fool.
Yeah. He died recently. Quincy Jones, the guy that wrote that
No
song.
way.
Yeah,
Oh, he's from up here in Seattle.
not anymore.
Quincy?
Quincy Jones has made his transition.
Mm-hmm.
Think he's coming back?
It depends on if he saw the clear light and recognized it as himself. If he didn't, then he's probably coming back.
Right. Now, Triple Full, can we equate kind of like the mirror scenario where that light, as you speak of, looking at one in the mirror, really you look at what you actually have become than seeing for what you are. Like so when like someone standing in the mirror. So I think mirrors have a lot I've been thinking about seeing a lot about like mirrors and things. So when someone looks at themselves in the mirror, they see what they think they are. But when the true toll count occurs, that reflection in which you seek, which you think you are, you're going to see what you actually are. And that could profess the cold sweats and handshakings to say, oh shit, I fucked up in this physical plane. And then whatever happens from that point, it goes.
There could be an element of like shame when looking at the perfection. You know, you say to yourself, oh, I'm not worthy of going into that because I haven't overcome this fear, or I haven't done this or that, or I need to work on this, you know, like, so you don't go into the light because you fear it.
Which,
you think you're
yeah.
not worthy.
Right.
That
And
makes
then
sense to me.
in which you can antiquate the light for your whole life, saying, you know, people who don't deal in light and have always done dealings in the dark, that's a metaphor. Whereas if you're not ashamed, it's put it this way. I like the behind closed door scenario because that makes it a lot easier. So if you're the same person behind a door, not like identical, but I'm the same motherfucker if you're going to talk to me here on YouTube, behind my closed door, and whatnot.
I don't know. You're like 10 different people just on YouTube.
Well, I have 9 lives. I'm a hairy pussy. But no, I mean, there's a certain extent, to privacy that one keeps where it's just
Yeah.
a very small circle of trusting, loving individuals get a chance to witness that side. So, but to me, that's the positive of somebody else, because if you get along with them at that point, they only just propel and get better behind a closed door. It's like wow, I want, but I don't know if I'm making my point across, but
Well, I
we're
think
gonna get,
like
we're
we
gonna get
probably try to
the-
put our best face forward. We don't try to show people the worst of ourselves. So when we are alone with ourselves, there's probably a little bit of things that people don't get to see when we're in
But
public.
then look at that statement that you just said. People try to put their best face forward or best foot forward, and that's a good thing. But the thing is then that scenario, to me, you could turn that scenario into a forced, because a smiley face and
Yeah,
instead
the
of just being
masking.
right. So I've learned not to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Not to do that. I'm not going to pretend I really enjoy something just because this person cooked fucking 7 hours worth in the kitchen and they think it tastes like fucking a 5-star restaurant. I mean, listen, I'm not going to be that terrible to them, but you understand that's a bad scenario. But when you have to force your smile and pretend, we all have to do it probably, but if you catch yourself doing it, just like an emotional scale, just like the warning track on a highway lane, acknowledge that warning sign that you're doing it to yourself and you know, hey, listen, I can't fucking stand here and pretend this, that, and the other. That's when you excuse yourself from that particular situation, no matter what it is, and you get your alone time. You go to the bathroom, you go stand outside, have a cigarette alone, and then you could regroup and you go back to it. I'm always a fan of regrouping myself because any team that plays against another team, there's timeouts. You need your fucking timeouts. You need to talk to the coach, and that coach to me is your higher power. And you could speak to him outside smoking your cigarette, not saying a fucking word. You know, that's how I look at it. You know, I mean, the views and expressions that's solely expressed here on by Vinny Pots and Pans does not necessarily reflect those of the Gen X generation.
Is that where you frozen? You are.
No,
No,
but
see, Kitty, I told you he wasn't frozen. That was
Bob
him.
just looks like that.
He's eating healthy.
I was
he's eating
watching
healthy.
this movie on TV,
What movie?
Thor,
What is it?
Thor.
Oh, Thor.
Which one?
I
The
might
first
check
one?
out that Punisher movie. Is it like violent and gory and creepy?
Yeah, but it's
Well, it's
also
Uh,
really
violent and
good.
kind of gory. Well, no, I don't know gory, but it's violent.
I may skip it.
Now, which Punisher did you tell him to watch? The first one or the second
No,
one?
He said there's a Netflix
the
series.
Netflix series. Yeah, that's the good
Oh,
one.
yeah, the one that had the guy from The Walking Dead in it.
Yeah, John
Right?
Bernthal. Yeah.
Dude. You know, I just watched. I hope Netflix, because Netflix has the rights to it. So I'm hoping Netflix picks up Heels and continues on. Because I watched season 1 and 2 of that. And dude, of course, season 2, they planned on coming back with a 3, at least a season 3. And so they left it off on a cliffhanger. And fucking Stars canceled it, but Netflix picked it up. So hopefully it's one of them shows that Netflix is like, hey, it's doing really well. And let's do it. Let's run with it. Kind of like they did a couple other shows.
This spring on Netflix, Leggy, also known as the CEO Killer.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, yeah.
Leggy does need his own series, though. I think Maine needs
Leggy,
its
you
own
can kill him by
series.
having
Dude, I
lobsters.
wish I would have had a fucking camera on the boat today. So
Leggy,
okay, so me and the other guy that works the stern of the boat, right? I drained the bait tank because it had a fucking bunch of water and shit in it. And I was like, fuck that. I don't want to fuck around in bait juice. It was kind of sloppy. So the fucking bait juice would have splashed up all fucking day. I didn't want to deal with it. So I drained the tank. He goes, why the fuck would you drain the tank now? Rah, bah, 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 bah. Why wouldn't you wait till the end? Because motherfucker, you're not the one that has to bait the fucking pockets in that nasty ass shit. So I took the fucking rope and I was stacking a trawl and I took the rope and I slung the rope over like I normally do. Well, apparently there was bait juice on the rope and it hit him. Oh Lord, you would think the earth was falling down.
It
You know
is.
this
Bait juice is
motherfucker,
it sounds so nasty. I'm on this
right?
guy's side so far.
it
Well,
reminds
Right?
me of the flip side of
You
garbage
work,
juice.
yeah.
Like
You work
garbage
on a
juice,
fucking
the juice
lobster
that
boat.
leaks out of the back of a
If
dirty
you
garbage
You should
truck.
be able to handle a little bit
look,
of bait juice. But you
exactly.
said you didn't even want to fool with the bait
Well,
juice.
no. There's a difference when you fucking when the bait tank is fucking half full of water and the bait sloshing back and forth and that shit sloshes up and you get like a half a bucket's worth fucking dumped on you versus you slack the rope and you get some fucking drops on you.
Now,
You know what
Leggy, are
I
you
mean?
speaking about that eat healthy scenario or actually working on the boat? Because
We're
it
talking
sounds
about
like the same thing.
Anyway. So I looked at him today. I go, motherfucker, how many times have you
Joke
fucked
on me.
with me? Taking a fucking your glove after you fucking have dumped a bucket of bait or done something and put it in my fucking face and we just laugh it off. I go wipe my face the fuck off and fucking continue fucking working. You know what I mean? I go, here it is, you. And then he goes, I've never done something like that. I go, you stupid motherfucker. I go, you have to. And then the captain just looks at him. He goes, he kind of has you there. You
That
really
all
do
sounds
fucking.
very low vibration to me.
This spring on Netflix,
It was fun.
Leggy,
No, it was quite intense.
starring in
It would have drawn. It would have drawn
Bait
views if it was
Juice.
Deadliest Catch. It would have been the highest segment on Deadliest Catch.
Bait Juice this spring
We just need an agent for you.
Instead of Beetlejuice, it'll be bait juice.
Bait juice. Lady lives with a guy who makes fresh fucking what's that? I can't even think of it. What's the raw fish the Chinese eat?
Sushi?
Sushi?
Sushi. Yeah, that'll be Leggy's roommate. Can a
I
man?
don't. I'm
Hey,
married,
what
sir,
you
so my
choose
roommate's my wife.
You know, yeah, that's it, Helen. Wait, I gotta hold on. I'm gonna say it. In a world. Yeah, I'll get my work. In a world. You gotta in a world willing. Woo. All right, union break. I gotta take a union break.
Union break. You mean a safety meeting?
That sounds healthy.
Anyways, yes.
So, Leggy, whose concert was that the other night?
I don't know. Some fucking steel drum band from the area, I guess. Bunch of fucking teenagers and couple adults. Kind of remind me of the fucking uh, 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 the Osmonds.
The
Or
Osmonds, yeah.
Patrick's family or something like that.
From Maine?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know where they were from exactly. I'm not 100% sure, but yes, it was a steel drum band. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool sounding. Kind of reggae-ish, kind of, I don't know, just feel chill. It was cool. Good time. Kids had fun running around, dancing, fucking acting like fools. So, good time.
Yeah.
What do you have
Yeah, I
happening
didn't even have
today?
a clue you had a band playing at first.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what they call themselves or anything, but it was two old guys. One guy playing a violin, one guy playing guitar and singing, and
Oh, was that at the brewery the other day?
yeah,
Yeah, that was a cool stream. I love when people go out in public and
yeah. I try to
interact.
do it. Try to do it as often as I can, but
The sound was a little hard to hear
I know,
because the background stuff, but
I know.
it was, I don't know, it was kind of some weird music.
Well, they were playing like Christmas songs and shit, which
Oh, it
was
seemed like a jug band,
yeah.
Well,
like
if
folk
Just
you
singing.
like
if you were listening while I was up there, you probably heard a mashup between the both.
yeah. No,
Honestly,
if you go back and watch the video, you can actually hear what you had going on a lot better than what I had going on. Like you can hear the steel drum band.
Here, let me drop.
I could hear some of your conversation. Like at some point, either you or one of your buddies you were with said it's cool that he's out spending time with his wife and kids or something like that.
I don't know.
Somebody said that. I don't know who the fuck it was, but somebody said it.
Wife and kids. Nobody has kids.
Hey,
Yeah,
Meek.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah, no. Yeah.
Leggy, are you in for the day or you have other adventures ahead of you? Or are
Uh,
you even at home?
no, I'm not. When am I ever at home?
That's what I was going to
Oh,
say.
I'm always on the go. That's the beauty of living in down East Maine. You gotta fucking go. You gotta travel fucking everywhere and everywhere to fucking get anywhere.
Down east, they call it.
Yeah. Yes, down East Maine. Dude, some guy just got fucking in Portland, Maine. Just got arrested. He shot down a fucking drone, like a fucking one of them like little small drones that some like
Oh my
photographer
God.
drone. Like you.
Why am
He
I not
shot it,
surprised they're shooting the drones in Maine?
and then dude, I'm 100% positive what I seen was a fucking drone. 100%. From my experience being in the Air Force and what I know about planes,
Oh, the little video you showed, the
that
white
was
thing?
very much. I wish I would have got longer, but there was a car that come up behind me. So, like, I tried to record it, but you know how it is. You stop in the middle of the fucking road, and all of a sudden a car comes up behind you. You kind of got to skedaddle down. So I was like, oh shit. But now, now what these people are seeing in New Jersey are little tiny fucking drones. Like, you know what I mean? They're seeing like fucking
I
like
don't
the
know. Aren't some
Amazon
of them
drones.
supposedly bigger, like military
The
size, and
one
that's what has
I
everyone freaked
seen,
out?
I'm positive is a fucking like a reconnaissance drone type deal, or like a weather drone, some type. It was a fucking unmanned fucking aircraft, 100%.
Yeah.
Whether or not it was civilian or military, I don't know, but I'm 100% positive because there was no exhaust behind that. You know what I mean? None. No exhaust coming out from behind that.
I don't know. For some reason, I'm not freaked out about these drones like everybody else. I'm like, they're
I
just
mean, these little
drones. They
tiny ones,
exist.
whatever. I mean, I'm not freaked out about it because I mean, it's just a matter of time that you see one in the sky if they send one somewheres. You know what I mean? They're in the sky, so if you see them, it's no big fucking deal, really. Now, when you if you start seeing them consistently every day, and you see more and more of them, and then shit's just not adding up, then yeah. But I just think these drones, it's just like the killer clowns. Remember when the killer
Oh,
clowns
I
were
hate that movie.
before?
That movie is so scary and creepy.
No, no, no. I'm not talking about it. I mean, it happened
No, the
just before
Killer
they.
Clowns from Outer Space.
Well, I wasn't talking about that one either. I'm talking
Oh,
about the killer clown. Like just before they redid it, and but just before it come out, there was this big fucking uproar about fucking killer clowns and people dressing up as clowns and shit. You don't remember this?
no. I remember
At
the
one
movie.
point in the United States, there was a trend of people dressing up as clowns and scaring people on the streets and shit.
What? No,
Yeah,
this
it
is not
was a
where I, not
trend.
Louisiana.
No, no, those kids, I'm pretty sure it happened in like New Orleans and shit
Oh,
too.
maybe New Orleans.
Like this was more in like bigger cities, like than smaller places. But like, so I just think it's one of them things. It's a trend. People fucking with other people. You know, hey, let's get some drones up in the air and fuck with people. Like, you
Right,
know what
now
I
that
mean?
people, it's the troll. Now that people know you can freak people out with drones, all the trolls are going to come out with their drones
Yeah,
and
because
try to get reactions from people.
and you can get in trouble if you're flying fucking drones at night without fucking lights on them. If you're fucking flying them in areas you're not supposed to be, like there's all kinds of shit that you really can get in trouble for if they want to be fucking cocksuckers about it. It was like a couple years ago. I was digging clams and there was a warden come out and he goes, I got you a picture of you with my drone. Right? You were across the line. I go, I wasn't across that fucking line. My boat might have been across the fucking line, the way it floated open. But me, myself, I was digging across the fucking line. So, whatever. So we got to court, had a lawyer. As the lawyer stated, that drone where he used it as a law enforcement thing, that thing has to be registered through the state and through the FAA, like all kinds of shit that he has to have that drone certified for, in order
Oh,
to,
Hmm.
even though it was, yeah. So therefore, all his evidence got thrown the fuck out,
When you
and
step
the DA,
outside and you look in the sky,
bro.
drones over New Jersey.
See, I would have
Come on,
been
Jeff, we're
fine
gonna make
either
a
way.
song about
aren't you close to Jersey or in Jersey? Vinny,
yeah, I'm in New
what do you
York.
think about these drones? What's going on there?
Well, when I'll sing it to you, Jeff, as I go on the fly here. As I stand outside and I look in the sky, drones over New Jersey. When I see the light and it is so bright, I think drones over New Jersey. When there's no pie in the sky and you waited for that pie, and then that dream
Oh.
died.
Did they
And
figure
you
out
look to the
who the
side and you
drones
look to
are?
the side, and then you look side to side and you saw the lights of drones over New Jersey.
I think
I'm
it's one of
working on
those things that are just going to become
it. Yeah, that's a
normalized.
rule,
Yeah,
it's a
it's like,
rule call.
oh, drones.
It's my
But
wood
did they
drone.
figure out who's doing it yet?
It's
Yeah, some
probably
guy
many
sitting on a
different
toilet
people.
bowl, probably in a trailer. Going, man, I got these metal-edged kids now.
Because people use them for photography. They use them to spy on other people.
Yeah, but they don't have drones the size of cars. I mean,
The best statement I heard one of these schmucks say that want to fucking fool us. He goes, I'm absolute certain that they don't. We can't tell you 100% of what it is, but I can tell you for certain it's not a threat.
yeah,
Well, if it's not a threat, how do you know it's not a threat? Because for
yeah. If you
100%,
don't
you
know
just
what
said
it
in the
is,
statement prior, you don't know what the fuck it is.
yeah.
So just like that one guy said back in the day, over that hill, gentlemen, I believe there's some friendly Indians on over that hill.
Right?
Oh yeah, custard.
So it's like people are trying to determine the level of threat. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean,
I'm not threatened by drones for some reason. I wouldn't think that I was, if I saw a drone flying around or even several drones, I wouldn't start thinking, "Oh, am I under threat?"
Coming, pause, this spring, drones over Jeff. No matter where he goes, left and right, they swarm. They go. I don't know where I'm going with that. But well, with the drones, absolutely have nothing to worry about. These motherfuckers know exactly what they are. Come on. You ain't gonna tell me whatever. And whatever it is, it's cool. So just watch the movie. I say. Right? But what's really fucking cool, I don't know if you ever watched any of these open ceremonies to any fucking thing lately outside of the United States. But these motherfuckers between the drone shows and their building with the lights and shit, holy cow! If you
Oh
ever seen
yeah,
a drone swarm
yeah, those
program,
are cool.
yeah. So if they could do it to that size, they could do it to any size, micro level, macro level. So you put your imagination to work. So these fucking drones, whatever the fuck
And
they
they
are,
did kill that
just normal shit.
what is
People
it,
aren't
that
used to being outside. They're like,
Hamas
what is
guy with the drone.
that? People have been locked up too long. They forget this shit that flies around. That's when I say, you stuck in the past. Nah, Billy Bob. You got to get out to that trailer, get off that toilet.
That's what I'm saying. This
Drone.
is going to be a normal part of the future. Just like more immigrants.
That
Drones and immigrants, get used to them.
That's it. And
And
if you don't go along with the
gender
program,
people, genderlings.
and if you don't go along with the program, there's a big glass of bait juice waiting for you to swallow down.
Oh, Angeline, you mean the original with Tim Curry? That's the one I remember. I never did watch it.
Never did watch it, but I'll get to it soon. I never
Probably
did
not.
watch it.
And then
But
they
I'll
made
get
a
to
new
it
version with
soon.
Alexander Skarsgård, which looks creepy too.
Skarsgård. That's the kind of name that you would say if you had a cigar in your mouth and you're just pulling it out.
Or if you were
All right,
Swedish,
guy Skarsgård.
Scandinavian.
You whopping the smoke. Tell that guy Skarsgård I need to see him ASAP. Meh.
Brr.
Brr, I'm a big hairy pussy on the Jeff panel. When I speak, I get
Man, your vibrations are changed suddenly.
well, because
Did
I'm in
you
a place
change
where I like to
clothes?
have fun. No,
Huh?
what? You mean the way that I'm just not doing Depeche Mode, enjoying the silence songs, or
No, you're I don't know, you
no?
you started like very spiritual and loving, and now
Yeah,
you're like,
and then that you let that waft and marinate like a fucking T-bone steak on a summer barbecue night before. You just let that shit marinate. And when you connect like that, and you're hanging out with the right like-minded individuals with good frequency, law of attraction, and then you just it just goes better and better and better. Think about all the people that you could feel good hanging around with and intensify that by 1,000 every time you hang around that one person or people. And there's usually not a lot of them in life, ladies and gentlemen. You find as I get older, which is a blessing. But I've been fucking social distancing before they were telling us social distancing.
You,
So it's a
you sure it wasn't
blessing.
the other way around?
It's a blessing to have the quality of the few that you'll know that love for, not in love with, but the love for that person and people, because they are within your movie script. You're supposed to meet them. They're supposed to meet you. That just like on the opposite spectrums of the positive and negative Jeff, there's another Jeff out there and millions of other Jeffs. Now,
I
nobody's
know.
identical, but they're all emitting the same frequency, which
You're not
on
supposed to
the,
meet your doppelganger, and I met mine, and it was a disaster.
I don't know, that sounds like a nasty
Reality
weather
starts to
pattern. I
implode.
don't know. Doppler radar comes to mind. Hey, that was a download, Jeff. Somebody upstairs. If that's the term, I don't even know. I never even use upstairs, but I don't even have it upstairs.
Well,
You know
at least
what?
you have a
Yeah, here it
basement.
is, Jeff. See, this is now I'm being downloaded. This Doppler radar has the radar that has these cell and weather towers. It's always looking and picking up things that you can't see in the sky. Okay, I see where it's going with that. Meteor. Okay. See, Jeff, this is the first time I've actually hit it like that on your panel, where I could just tell specifically it's a download. Ladies and gentlemen, like sometimes I'm like a tarot card reader, you know, when they say, oh, you got to read the card. So sometimes I call them downloads. I've learned since 2019, 2020 to start I just get downloaded instead of trying to explain that there are non-physical beings speaking to me. Anyway.
You get
Okay.
this, so you're getting downloads now. That's what this is.
Meteorologist is coming to mind, but meteorologist. So I'll say, let's just say, hey, spirit. Okay, why meteorologist? And let's see if they answer. Sometimes they do. Okay, it seems like they're trying to say to me, why do they call them meteorologists when they never follow any meteors? And the meteorologist, like. So you go from studying rocks. This is Jeff. I have no idea why I'm saying this.
I know. I'll say this is the.
But I mean, I have an idea. Well, obviously I know, but I don't want to scare you away and say I'm not having that guy on my show.
Oh, I'm sure I've heard worse.
Right? Meteorologists. They're going back to the cell towers. Yeah. Did you ever look at a cell tower recently, ladies and gentlemen? Kind of looks like one of those old Star Wars starship like planets that got half blown up, but it's still like, you know, like a clunker car, like it's still chugging, like it's very spooky looking. I would say that. Okay.
They used to disguise them as trees.
Again though, Jeff, here's the correlation for the download. Things that are posted on the ground to detect and see things that our own eyeballs can't see, but these fucking things can through its electromagnetic frequency. There you go. See, I believe. Okay, and that's not I believe. I'm not Martin Luther. I believe I can fly. Yes, it all has to do with there are radio stations. Here it comes, Jeff. This is why it's saying it to me. The relevance of what our eyes can see and what we perceive. So what our eyes can see, we see. But if you're not perceiving certain things, you're not going to see it. Now, the second part of this is going to be these things can see and sense things that we can't. Or can we? And the people are telling you can't. Such as a veil lift. Such as, you know what? And I just put them on my car the other day. New windshield wipers. What do? They clear that big fucking thing in front of you so you could see out and drive your fucking car, which is your body. And life likes to throw a lot of shit on that nice, big, wonderful windshield that we have and call eyeballs. That in this day and age, the higher powers of source energy, love of God, is going to start allowing us as humans to learn and experience exactly what the fuck I'm talking about right now, where we're going to be able to see a radio station's frequency going from, like, let's say the top of the Empire State Building, wherever it's going to go, like a firework that just doesn't, it's just, you'll see it. Like these fucking Doppler radars can, these meteorologist weather motherfuckers. So there's something to it that they've never told us about that exists here. This is just a hunch, or maybe that's the new.
Do
But
you have braces
do
or
I
any
have
kind of
braces? No.
metal in your head?
Metal in my head? AC/DC?
This is wild, Vinny.
Oh, which is electric current, AC/DC.
It's
My
coming
favorite
into your
song.
brain.
When I get into this kind of a mode, Jeff, I love it because it's almost like I'm an AI. It's like I'm AI speaking to an AI. Listen, I'm all new to this myself, and I'm not fucking crazy. I mean, I'm a retired New York City detective. How crazy can I fucking be?
Yeah, true.
But hey, it's fun speaking like this. Okay,
Yeah,
now here,
I'm
and it's
taking it
different,
in. I don't know what
and
to
it's
make of it.
different. Difference is what I'm getting. It's different. And yeah,
What clothes are you wearing today that might be
jeans,
contributing to this?
green
A
sweatshirt.
silk smoking jacket.
Yeah, I look like Hugh Hefner, Jeff. What do you want? Minus the bitches, which I wish I had. Anyway. But yes, Jeff, it is something to it. Like, do you ever see all these trucks parked outside a main event, like you go into a concert or something, or outside the garden or any kind of an arena? It's big trucks with the satellite dishes.
Yeah, the satellite truck, like the news trucks.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah,
to those motherfucking things that they're not
because
telling
it's
us about.
technology. But you're saying your brain does the same thing.
I'm saying that somebody had to have found what makes that go, and how did that human being see it and make it? You understand?
Science.
Let's just say whatever that capability is, and this is just one little multifacet is what I'm getting downloaded, is telling me. As this one facet, this is just where I've been. I can only imagine where other light workers and other people that have been out there doing shit. Real fucking kingdom. I'll call it kingdom work. But it's higher power work. It's Steve Winwood. Bring me your higher love. Oh,
Oh God,
again,
why
a
would they use
song
him?
on a radio, which is the radio. The first thing that ever evolved to mass communicate was right? Morse code. Morse code. Okay, see,
Are
I get it.
psychedelics involved? I've had mushroom trips where I felt like I was downloading intelligence
But
from
how
from
did
the fungus.
become Jeff just went to McDonald's and has a fresh hot piping French fry?
French fries.
How did turn into that statement? It did somewhere because some motherfucker invented it, and then he kept conducing and keeping it to themselves, and whatever they do with their greedy scoundrel motherfucking business. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is no different from the cure of cancer or to never take one pill and you're fucking gonna go back to looking like a fucking 18-year-old. Shit like that. When a human being gets this technology universally from even other fucking life forms, and I'll say it, yes. If God made us, what in this planet, who's to say that there's not another one of us and a million of us in all different kinds of ways? But let's just stick to this unique predicament that we're all at right now here at 5:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, where was I?
Well, I have a download right now. I forgot to tell you about. I have an appointment tomorrow morning, and I have to travel and go out for it. So I don't know what time I'll do a stream or if I do. But I think on the way back, I'm gonna stop and get some more fries and live stream it. So you just reminded me. I
You see,
think
now
there's gonna
that
be
just put,
another
look, I can
appearance
see the
of
smile on
fries
your
tomorrow.
forehead. I can even see the smile on that big shiny forehead. See, positive thoughts. You get that fried. Listen, and I don't even eat them, but I think I might get me some french fries too.
Hey guys, I'll see you later, man. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, I'll
You
triple-
too, Zach. Take care.
All right, fool. God bless you.
Seeing you.
I think I scared him off.
Well, I don't know what happened.
Too much? I don't know.
Do you have? Is there like? Do you have anything to leave us with? Is there something?
This is the end of the show.
I don't know. It can be. Or we can keep going. You can download more.
Well, no, I'm going to keep.
I'll
going.
make space for your downloads.
I'm going to get downloaded one way or another.
Yeah.
But you see, Jeff, this is where if you would end the show, I'd say, great time. Thanks for having me. I'd cut you down, and I know I'm going to fucking turn on my big-ass fucking speaker and start blasting some tunes that I'm getting downloaded with.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about your channel. You do all that cool music. Let me drop your Drop your channel. What if we don't end it and it keeps going? What do you think's going to come through?
Well, then
Let's
we'll
find
have to
out.
see. Then that's the mystery, right? That's like life. That's when they say, "Do you want to die now, or do you want to go ahead and keep going?" You know what I'm saying? I say I'm fresh out the fucking locker room at halftime. Give me that third quarter kickoff. Let's go. Anyway,
Here, I'm going to drop Vinny's channel. He does
all right. Don't
really
break it, bro.
creative
Don't
music
drop it too hard.
videos
You'll
that
break
you
the
might
whole.
enjoy.
If you drop it too hard, it's gonna crack. All right. Where's my Price is Right sound effect? Got it
I
wrong.
gently laid it in there.
Boom, 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 boom.
Man, I still can't get over these. These are really cool. And it's all live. Like none of it's not digital.
No. See, the beauty of it is that every song that you see on my channel has been a downloaded song and a downloaded video make. I don't make videos, but I did then. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? What am I?
It was like art. You were just in your creative
Yep.
process.
And well, that has expanded, but it's like, and then I got stuck in the panel verse.
Yeah.
The spirits got me here at the panel verse.
Right.
Which
Yep.
leads me to this. And 5 years later, here we are. But
5 years? Oh, wow.
yeah.
Trapped in the panelverse.
Panel versing before fucking COVID, bro.
It's kind of like life. You're here, and you don't really. There's
Right. And
no,
on your
there's
perspective,
no
you're
out.
speaking to a pussycat on a screen, which you have no idea what's behind my eyes and how I'm projecting, even seeing.
Right. You don't match your pussycat. Like when I hear you talk, I don't think of this cute little pussycat.
No, you can't get mad at Yumsy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's my pussy. I have a big hairy pussy. Has whiskers too. But yes, so when I do things lately, Jeff, it's kind of like you're at that stop sign and you're like, I got to make my right-hand turn. I make this right-hand turn every day. But, it's that one fucking day you get to that stop sign and you say, I'm making a left fucking turn.
That little randomness.
I never made the left. I'm going to make it and I'm going that way. Or maybe you did make the left and you had running it. But you get the drift of the.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. Do you have any tips for success? Do you consider yourself successful?
Do I consider myself? Wow, I'm getting. Yeah, of course I do. Absolutely.
You have any wisdom
anybody who
to leave the rest of us?
Themselves a success needs to start working on saying it's okay where the fuck you are. Where the fuck you are right now.
But then what's the motivation to change where you are if it's okay?
Maybe some people don't need to change. Maybe it's other
Well,
people
then what's
telling them that they
success?
need to change. That's the problem.
Oh, see, you're deconstructed all of my success talk. Success is an attitude. It's a mindset.
That's right.
It's a destination. It's a goal. It's a get. It's a there. It's in the future. It's something you move toward. If the present's okay, there's no need for success.
Right. Only you know that that, so to speak, hypothetical line in the sand that you can cross and say, I hit the finish line. You know what I mean? There's a level to everybody's desires.
Well, I don't know if trapped in the panelverse is my vision of success.
Oh, I say trapped in the panelverse, but God bless it. I say God. Listen, Jeff, year 2.5, when the shit was really hitting the fans with all the crazy doxes and people going to jail stories and shit.
Oh my God.
Doors getting knocked off hinges while live on fucking live panels. These are the kind of nice folks that I was dealing with back in 2021. While everybody was like, "Did you get the C shot? Did you get the thing in your nose, Vinny? Did you get the?" No, I'm fucking online dealing with some fucking not so nice individuals from fucking pedophiles on down the fucking chain. Yeah, and I say, God, why am I here? And then universe responds. I could almost heard him smirking, like, yeah, you know why you're here. And I know why I was there, because a lot of good, fun things have happened in my life on here for me in order to even have more fun and watching this hilarious show I call life. While shit was hitting the fan on the outside, I'm dealing with shit hitting the fan here on the insides too. And more than anything else, here's the download of all. of getting that wonderful testimony one day I'd be proud to tell you in private about, when I realized that it was a higher purpose for me to be here, where it is a higher, there is a meaning for me. And I believe there's a meaning for everybody. But I mean, me personally, Jeff, just going through life, and it took to the halfway marker. I mean, to know, to just fucking know. I mean, a man could walk right here into my fucking house. Well, it won't happen. And put a gun to my fucking forehead. And I'm still just going to sit here and say, go ahead, just do it. When you can get to the level of that in life and just...
That doesn't sound like a healthy level to be at.
Well, I know it was a bad example. I'm sorry. I'm from Brooklyn.
I don't know if I want to be at that level.
But when you just get to the level of life to know where my testimony was beyond anything could ever possibly do, of any kind of euphoric feeling, or that wonderful, what did Santa bring me under the tree as a kid waking up, shit like that kind of feel.
Yeah, I remember those.
That feeling, it just, you intensify that by quadrillion and then some, to know that I know there is a next step. I know where that next bus, I know the bus the bus has already picked me up. Where it's going to drop me is that's what I'm excited about, because it hasn't taken me out of my vessel yet. So that means I haven't transitioned yet. And I'm ready for my second half of life, because I'm already, I'm at the halfway.
Get a little stir crazy.
So
this epiphany, it happened in the Panelverse as a result of your experiences in the Panelverse.
And then, right, because it was, now I'm getting downloaded to get back on track. Sorry if I went a beer. It was spreading the message, whatever that message would be. From that point on, which I could go on and on about, obviously I can, but from that point of that testimony that I have, from that point on, I knew it was a game changer for me.
It was a what?
A game changer in the way that I live my life and what life is going to start bringing to me. And ever since the beginning of 2020.
Uh-oh, you're starting to get muffled. Just as the wisdom's coming in.
How's that? You hear me now?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
But just as that beginning of 2020 was just, my life has just been on the up. Just in the best way of mentally. And I say, and in my house, I'm the house, because we all have a house. That's your human body in a way. I'm getting downloaded that. But I was like, what am I doing over here? I'm on the other side of the world, Jeff. I would never forget it. I was doing these I was hitting Denmark, because that's all that was available when, in middle 2020. You're in France. You're stuck in some stupid fucking Brit live panel. You're the only guy in there that could. It's just, it's like a, what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, what am I doing here, God? And then I started to just pick up on, because it just went completely from stop making these videos with the music to just doing other things and learning, like stewarding, so to speak. And it's been wonderful ever since. So getting that message across, talking like the way I'm speaking now, that's my purpose in a way. However, whatever my frequency, because even if I didn't say it, even if I told somebody on this, go fuck yourself attitude, it was the point. It's what brought me to where I'm at. And for some weird reason, my frequencies hitting your frequencies, like in Ghostbusters, crossing stream kind of shit, but in a good way. That's the juice. That's the tapestry that's filling in those small little fucking cracks in a masonry brickboard that you can't get that paper through. That's that small little that small little whatever it is, that one douchebag fucking X that we all have somewhere. Well, that was a reason. But even that little, you got to thank them, because that's where I've gotten to. But you understand. You don't have to thank them. But I'm just saying, in a weird way, it just brings everything full circle. And I love the number 8. I've been very big into the number 8 for quite some time. And then I started to see the 8 as an infinity sign. I started learning
Yeah,
about
if you turn
8.
it on its side, it's a symbol that represents infinity
I started learning
from
about
Schoolhouse
8.
Rock.
I got downloaded with Angel 8, and I affiliated more self with what happens to people that I usually hang around, of what usually happens to them, knowing from the meaning of Angel 8. And I certainly have in many ways, in all different facets of my life. Most people will say, well, you didn't get the thing in your nose. How do we know you're not going to come for dinner if you didn't get the thing in the nose, Vinny? If you're not going to
What's the
come and
thing in the nose
the
thing?
COVID tests with that fucking
Oh,
nose thing that
oh,
goes right up.
okay.
Vinny, you're not going to get the thing that's going to touch your brain and really get the most amount of DNA
Yeah, they
content that you
used to
possibly
go
get from
way far
people.
in there.
And I says, no, I'm not going to stand in line and go for the biggest DNA data collection thing that this evil empire that we call whoever, evil fucks that do to other human life forms in order to get to know whatever the fuck it is, right? This is just my opinion only. But while I was dealing with people like that, I'm thinking of ways, knowing now how and why, where, just start looking at things like it just didn't fucking matter anymore. There's just certain things in life, and as tough as they could be, there's just certain things that just don't fucking matter. And that was the easiest thing for me because dealing with a lot of things in real life really prepared me for this life. And I say this life meaning my online experience because I'm not a social media person. I'm not on any other fucking thing. I have no other fucking channels. I have no fucking sock accounts. I'm not on any other social media platform. I think I tried Rumble once, and it was terrible. Like when it first came out. So maybe who knows now today? God bless them.
I think it's still terrible.
But
Or
just
not. There's just not much going on there.
but just with all of that, I learned more so like, it's new beginnings 8 represented. And, it was all like, so just to come back to that instead of running awry, to me personally, and I grew up Catholic and everything. I mean, it got me to the point where I'd love to be live on a YouTube streams panel saying, hey guys, watch me stick my foot up the Pope's ass. Yeah, I said it.
That
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
sound very
Well, back in the
loving.
day, it would have been like, you want to what? Yeah. Yeah. Where I said, God, I can't believe, because you go through that. Like I went through it and I was like, and then it got to the point like, yeah, all right, Vinny, yeah, you're seeing it now. And I started leaning more on that. And I said, yeah, religion's a fucking middleman, fucking distraction money racket to order for you to sidetrack you to get into the direct connect, like a cell tower or a Wi-Fi or some shit like that. Okay, see, now I see the download, how it's connected, Jeff. You see? Yeah. And then I had bishops that I used to know in Manhattan, and this, and I got their picture. Oh, God love you, Vinny. Jeff, I had all their motherfucking pictures and went right into my burn barrel. Whoop! Later, bitches. When I
You
took the
burn the
rosaries
bishops?
that people got, I got this at the Vatican. Here you go. Yeah, a gift shop. Imagine the ultimate fucking slap in the face of a God that I would know. A gift shop for God. Come see God, but you need to pay us. Are you fucking kidding me? So that came to mind. And then I started getting a little aggravated in a good way, kind of like I feel now, but it's like a fucking just a cat, like my cat in the picture. Who in the fucking world would be fucking? And then I questioned religion, and then that's when I started thinking of that time when people in my family were dying. Good riddance. And I don't want to go to their funeral. Just don't want to go. What the fuck? And because I was looking at the human aspect of it all. They're just a normal human being. If a person was a scumbag but they just died, does that make them a non-scumbag? And you shouldn't talk. Fuck them.
No,
Fuck
they're
them.
still a
Fuck their
scumbag.
whole shit already. Good. No. Now, God bless them. But it's just something I'm not going to put my spiritual energy and my life force into.
Well, now you can go remotely to the funeral. You can just sit in your
Too much.
living room and
I don't know. Maybe that's just too much.
attend. Hebrew, he left. In fairness, you did take a while getting back, but he stuck around for some time.
But I would always say, there is a purpose for you. Now, there's a purpose for me. And here's the cool kicker on it all of what I'm just now really, this I get onto something and I investigate it and I just do my own thing at times. And I do those things while I'm listening to wonderful shows like yours and the like of usually where I frequent. Was never like that for a very long time for me on this. For my experience on this shit, and I do come from the drama. I mean, God has been sent me from, I'm like, wait a second, God, I was just talking to some nice people in wherever. And now I'm fucking told to go fuck myself. And I'm getting called this and accused of that and trying to get on here comes real life is. And people want to get handsy. They want to do things in life. Go ahead, I say. Whatever floats your boat in life. And then it learned that, even here on this, human beings are even worse than what they would even show their face in the sun.
I know. We were talking about that last night.
Yeah.
Is this the real people? Is this how people really are?
Oh,
Does the anonymity bring out their true nature?
Well, if you consider somebody or whatever they are on here, it would probably intensify for you as an experience, meaning me, everybody, if you did hang out with them in real life. So if they're a scumbag and you consider somebody a scumbag, and just whatever you consider a scumbag, and maybe the actual bag full of scum, whatever. But if you, like I consider somebody who I don't like and I don't want to ever associate with, who I don't trust and I would never have over for a barbecue, a scumbag. So if you fall under that kind of a definition to understand where if you consider somebody that scumbag on any social media presence platform, then by and large, they're probably 1,000 times worse when you see them in real life.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think their behavior on here reflects what they're most likely to be in real life,
Fakeness,
even if under the surface.
People's true colors always come out in time. Divine timing and things like that. People that you think well, the first thing, I mean, there's a whole thing on it. You got to always remember, this is like no different than hanging out on a public street. No different. At least, so you're going to come across people that come at you like fucking, they're snakes. They're low.
Yeah, I don't have any, I like to think, I have a very realistic view of humans.
Yeah.
And how they actually are, what they actually are.
I could only, and then some of them that came up, it's almost to me, Jeff, I view it as I'm looking in their cage.
In their what?
Cage. A cage. C-A-G-E. Cage.
Cage? Like their monkey cage?
No, like when you see them on not you, but when you see them and their background and their face and their demeanors over the years, I have to watch you on a panel because I view them as if I'm looking at, like I'm looking into a hamster cage at them. Because their rooms get filthier, more marks get on the wall, they look more disheveled and
I'm cleaning my room, I promise. I'm putting my tree up too.
But you understand, listen, it's not about that. It's just that if people who know. Now, maybe some people didn't have the nice pleasure of meeting people who are like that all the time because eventually it's like you look at yourself and then you got to look at the whole panel. It's like, is the whole panel like, no. So, and it's a tapestry of time, it's like the Beauty and the Beast, tapestry of time, yeah, Beauty and the fucking Beast, because you're going to meet the beasts. We've been meeting beasts our whole lives. Now it's just a matter of you're going to point out personally, on a personal level, like I have been trying to antiquate where I'm going with what I'm saying, is that there's a beast always lurking somewhere. And now I've developed even keener senses on a different level of just being, intuitive, or instead of saying, oh, I had a gut feeling. No. This is almost where it's just instantaneous. And on this digital spectrum of things, knowing that I'm telling you how I could see almost a Wi-Fi signal, the actual fucking signal it's using. Damn, where was I going with it? Fuck, I just brain farted right in the middle.
And Spike was distracting me with fries. He's at McDonald's right now, eating fries, or so he says.
I'll get to I'll think of it. Oh, like recognizing the beat. So on this, Jeff. Now I'll let you, I'll say it. Fuck it. Do you hear that say, oh, I always feel like, they're watching or they could watch, if they've made this technology, but this is a digital screen that we're both looking at that is still got to go through your camera onto the lens. And I mean, all the different phases and facets of that little tapestry that happened at the boom, right? Speed of light. But Jeff, on the subliminal level, it was very slow, very interwoven, very on the microscopic level of things, where Jeff, I've seen now, especially in black and white photographs or a black and white video or a black and white movie, my eyes can see this every fucking subliminal thing that video producer threw in that fucking imagery or the video production of it. And then when I point it out to somebody, if I've been doing it where if they don't see it, they don't see it. But when I point it out to them, then everybody could start fucking seeing it. And then you see it. And then it gets, I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's like
I bet you were a good detective.
it's mediocre. Yeah,
Do you
I
do
don't
you
even,
see do you see the gorilla in that video when they're playing basketball?
gorilla in the video? Nah, I don't even know what that is.
Oh.
You talking about one of my ex-girlfriends?
No, it's some little like perception test where I don't want to ruin it in case
But
anybody
what I'm
ends up
telling you,
taking it.
Jeff, is let's just say what I'm saying to you is no different than the guy having a conversation with you the day he's like, Jeff, I'm telling you, I could actually see this thing go from this building to the next building, but I actually can see it, and they're calling it the radios. Or they're calling it the telegraph. But if you put it on this electrical line of sorts, and then they could communicate, and then that communication becomes communication. There it is. There's the download I'm getting. Communication. If you're if you're Helen fucking Keller, you're still, where were you before here is what I would say to somebody. So, like the first spot of light, you're even as a baby, right? You only got an image, you're looking up most of the time. It's very two-dimensional, three-dimensional, and then you start crawling around. So then you become four. You know what I'm saying? It's just as you go, as you progress. That's what it is, Jeff. It's the frequency. So what I'm saying is the guy who could understand that frequency concept of what I'm saying. Now let's just say what I'm saying. Now, instead of being cooped up, whatever it is, and being a selfish prick about the new technology that I'm letting the cat out the bag. Oops. Ooh, I'm just a hairy pussy anyway. But Jeff, I'm saying the technology that I'm starting to possess probably is going to be just putting every other technology out the fucking window because they're going to want to know, how do I do it? And instead of being a fucking sellout, it goes to the world, it goes to the universe. And by doing so, it already happened, Jeff. You see, it's happening as I say it. It just goes like that. Because that's something that's going to manifest one of these days, especially when the truth, Jeff, the fucking truth is all that's what's happening and taking place. Is what's happening around the world right now, let alone outside, but especially on here. The truth is taking place. And the truth is the truth. It's not what he said. It's not what she said. It's not what so-and-so thinks. It's not who endorsed so-and-so's opinion. The truth, ladies and gentlemen, it's exactly what it is. It's the fucking truth. And we all know ourselves enough to know if anybody's been out there and they hadn't been, or they've been on the bullshit from all levels of life, your ass is going to be accountable. And for people not to really even understand that, like they're not going to be accountable when they do make their transition, and it's coming very soon, and that's a perspective of mine. It may not be of anybody else's, and somebody could probably just say, what the fuck is Vinny even talking about? And I'd say, I concur, sir, because I've been learning to adjust to this Vinny who has never appeared prior to my past 50 years. Understand?
So there's future Vinnies we could look forward to as well.
Every day.
I
Now,
can't wait.
see, Jeff, the most accurate watch in the world would just say now. N-O-W. That's it. There
Well,
is no time where what of the tech. It's I don't even know how to explain it. But what I'm saying to you is, Jeff, now that I could see, like if they, like the latest thing, heat-seeking missiles, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Well, how do they fucking know that screen is showing a heat-sensitive object? Well, heat sensor. So then that technology comes.
science.
Well, but yes, Jeff, exactly. But how did it start? Who had to have witnessed it that, hey, this thing is picking up the hottest fucking things, not the coolest things. And oh, this thing over here, this frequency picks up the coolest things and not the hot things. And all this technology that all these fucking whoever they are out there, and many facets of life, Jeff, right down to the headset you. I mean, everything we do. It's here in the Matrix. I never understood. That's the one thing.
Oh Lord, Speaking of the Matrix, we got a waffle in the house.
I'm gonna take a
Hey,
union break. Salute waffles. I got to get this out. Pause. No more.
He's getting
I'm
another
coming to
download. We're gonna get the new Vinny when he gets back.
Yeah, I'll take the break. I gotta take a break. I gotta take a break, waffles.
What's up?
so Vinny, for 200K,
Yeah, a load on your back. All right, let me go smoke. You can tell Jeff that's funny. Yeah, he's got a good song for you.
no, we're not gonna play that song on Jeff's channel. How's it going, Jeff?
Oh, pretty good. Just another Monday in the Panelverse. What's up with you?
Shit,
Fight crew?
I came out to have a smoke and was listening to you guys and haven't seen Vinny in a while, so figured I'd hit that link.
Oh yeah, well this is the day to catch him.
Was it Vinny Mondays?
It's Vinny Monday, yeah. Vinny's Monday. Oh, we got signal too. Hey there.
Yo. What's
Yo,
up?
what's up?
How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
I'm having a blast. How you guys? What's up? What's up with you guys?
Nothing. We were listening to Vinny. He was talking about all kind of stuff. The Panelverse, the Beast. I prefer my people like how the Panelverse shows people's true nature, that we're all beasts. But I prefer people that have something more to offer than just their beast.
Well, time is the great equalizer in the Panelverse, Jeff. Time will prove all.
How much time does it take, do you think?
I don't know. There's some people been here 4 or 5 years chasing after shit. I hope to not be here that long, but
I hate to say I probably do have 4 years in me at least. 4 or 5 years. I've been on it for not the well, yeah, I kind of have been in the Panelverse since 2020, just in a different form.
on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't know they were called panels or Panelverse, but I was doing YouTube panels in 2020.
Yeah,
Totally different sector. I don't think connected to this one.
I think a lot of people here are kind of like they say terminally online. Or whatever.
Yeah, because what else are you going to do?
Pretty
Like,
much.
what's going on in your life as an alternative to this for a lot of us?
Well, I
that's-
mean, I
that's
think
the
it's like a relief though, to like come up here and not deal with all that other shit. I think.
Yeah, I definitely find things here I can't find in real life, and I have seen I've seen people get help, like it's helped their lives. I've seen positive benefits come out of this, so it's not all, even if it's terminally online, there's reasons people turn to it, and I've seen good things come out of it.
There's endless potential with these types of things. The problem is that we're closer to our fellow humans than we've ever been, but at the same time farther away.
Yeah.
There used to be relationships. There used to be I was listening to my niece at a family party the other day talking about she's dating this guy that she's only spoke to on the phone once. Their entire everything. They trust each other based off of texts and
What? Do they live in the
pictures
same area, or is it all remote?
um no, they're kind of in the same area, and they're, not kids like that, but they're high teens, early 20s. And everything is a swipe left, a swipe right. I saw your pictures. But actual phone conversations are very small, where I can think of, my wife and we used to spend 4, 5, 6 hours on the phone. I mean, back in the 90s, you'd fall asleep on the phone,
Yeah, I
on
remember
the
that
phone
till like
together,
3
right?
in the morning talking on the phone.
Right. So we were closer on certain levels, and now we're further away. However, these little devices that we all carry around have everybody connected to the web.
Yeah, we have an infinite a connection to an infinite amount of people anytime we need
Right.
it.
You ever try to call someone or text someone and they never pick up and they never respond, but when you're with them, they're always on their fucking phone responding to somebody?
I'm not sure. I don't spend a lot of. I'm usually that person that doesn't respond, especially to phone calls. If you need to
No,
call me, text me first and make sure I'm up for a phone call.
certainly, but that doesn't mean you didn't see. That doesn't mean you didn't see it, and that's the text, the text society that we've become. On the flip side, how many times can you think of a text or something somebody wrote, somebody else takes the wrong way because we all read things in a different inflection, and then problems ensue?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've definitely had that. I prefer phone or face to face more than written communication, partly for
Yeah.
that reason.
Yeah, I want you to hear my voice. I want you to hear the inflection of the words. If we know each other personally, I want you to see it in, my face when I tell you, something, or I'm sorry or whatever. It means a lot more instead of these, fucking avatars, avatars and channels.
Yeah, and Waffles, that's a wonderful fucking point, bro. I was downloaded, when people read in whatever tone they're reading, they're going to be reading it in the emotional state that they're in.
Exactly.
And so, what your emotional state, whatever your perspective is by reading such text, you're going to get mad at somebody who never even had that same kind of energy typing it down into the digital format and sent on its way. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that,
fuck
I don't
people
know.
online though. I do that. I did that shit with my wife. Now, listen. No marriage is perfect. We have our ups and downs, whatever. But when you're married 10 years and been together a lot longer, we've ironed out these things. But back in the beginning, do you know how many fucking fights we had because she took my text the wrong way or I took hers the wrong way? We had to make a rule, and it's funny, but we still do it today. If I'm joking, now I'm gonna fucking put LOL. So if you see LOL, I'm fucking joking, and that's it, because things have gone the other way. And again, that's just one person with me. I can think of
Unlike back in the day, Joey, when you take that fucking receiver of that fucking rotary phone and go click.
Right.
That's a message.
Exactly.
I'm so fucking glad, Joey, I never grew up. Like, everything was just like the cusp of technology.
Yep.
That I've been learning on it. You know what I mean? Like, from college, it was like, I remember being in college saying, what? I could look up what? And then I started finding shit like, what? This whole fucking thing is already wrote for me. I just got to copy and paste it.
Yep.
Anyway, but
it's funny.
But what I'm saying is, like, just, I don't know, the technology of it is. But the one thing that I do understand, it's definitely a different world growing up, because I could only imagine, because of half the shit that I've done as a kid. But if I, you know what I mean, it's just weird.
Vinny, if my fucking childhood and teenage years were on YouTube, I would be in jail. I'd be in jail. I'd be in jail or dead. I would have never been allowed to have and listen, all you sick fucks out there, I'm not talking about sexual stuff. I'm talking about just being a rambunctious fucking kid. I got arrested for criminal damage to property when I was a teenager.
My God, what were you doing as a kid?
Oh, well, I don't want to.
Were you a hoodlum?
People grow.
Allegedly, Jeffrey.
Allegedly, right.
Talk about the beast.
Yeah. Oof, hey, oh. See, that's what you say, Jeff. See, you're already an honorary Italian. So, but you got to
Oh
remember.
yeah, I forgot. I don't know if
Here's
that's a
another little
good thing or
lesson.
not.
Honorary Italian. All right. First of all, take off that pledge pin. Is that a pledge pin on your uniform, Jeff? No. When they go allegedly, so you stop using the word. Everything is allegedly.
Yeah.
Could have been, maybe, like a news anchor. You speak like a news anchor because everything is. It could be. We think it's all allegedly because only the truth is the truth, right? Everybody always thinks, I got the truth. I got it. Why I sound like that right now, I have no idea. Blame the Lord.
In the South, we just call that gossip.
But there's just so many levels of so many intricate parts of life of all forms and facets all over this place, where there's one thing that definitely we all have, and it's a collective of something. And I call that collective consciousness on everything. There's a collective consciousness of people who like to fucking build model planes. There's a collective consciousness of that, wow, that feeling on Christmas morning. And believe it or not, there are Ebenezer Scrooges that can't stand that feeling. They don't want it. They don't want to know that feeling because they were jealous growing up as kids.
Something happened in their
On
child.
so
Yeah.
many levels. But it's the collective consciousness of all of that intertwine even into the dissecting of the frequency. The frequency gets stronger as it goes further out because it starts shaking off less important frequencies, like as we go through life. I don't know why I'm saying it. I'm just a hairy pussy, Jeffrey. You got to stop.
Well, Lotus is getting something out of it. She's using it as a body double.
But I never understood in the Matrix when Morpheus says it's everything and anything. He says, you even feel it when you pay your taxes, Vinny. And I says, what does he mean by this?
Oh, you thought too hard about the Matrix. I'm not sure there was much to understand.
No, but I'm not talking about the movie. I'm just talking about how or what message that I get. There's a lot of things that went on in that movie, but there's only a few parts that really stuck out. And they're not the most, you understand. But then I started to think about that. I started applying it in this life. It's everything and anything. It's everywhere you are. It's there you are, so you are. So what does some famous guy say? Where I am as I be, some shit. But within, without. The yin and the yang, the fucking up and the down, the crux of where
The
it
ding and the dong.
starts. That's what it is. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making any sense.
You have nothing to say and you're saying it.
Because it's downloaded to me.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I wanted to go back and touch upon. But yeah, being on the different panel. And then I started to learn, well, there's sectors and there's fucking this.
Oh my god.
And
This is the worst shit I've ever. If I knew then, Vinny, if I knew, no disrespect to you fine gentlemen, but if I knew that the Amico bullshit was gonna lead me all the way through all the shit I've been through to here, holy fuck, man, I would have started a paper route. I would have fucking
right.
From what I hear about this guy, could you not have seen some of it coming though?
Yeah, but Joe, I bless it.
I was never part of him, Jeff. I'm one of the few. He actually made a video of somebody connected to me in real life that I have in Vegas. And that was when I decided, I could step out the bushes. And I didn't realize that
I remember when you made your appearance.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was stepping out into the fucking great savannah.
Oh,
87 trolls of different sectors and fucking this and that and just waiting for me to fucking fuck up, which I inevitably did, like every asshole does around here. And
yeah, it sneaks up on you.
Right, here we are. And I ran an experiment. I made a music channel. I like music, diddle around with fucking music and shit. And it's easy. With a music channel, playing music 24/7, I was able to get a few thousand subs in, whatever, a month.
Wow.
Six
From
weeks,
just playing music?
Listen, but not me. It's not, they weren't coming there for me, Jeff. They were coming there because I had certain music in rotation playing 24/7. So I ended up getting on algorithms. And then most people, you find you find a channel you like, you hit subscribe.
Hopefully, yeah.
Zero content, zero other than live music. And that just showed me that I fucked up, because now my voice is out there, and one of these douchebags, will if I go and try to do a music, non-drama, whatever, one of these douchebags are bound to find me and then dox me and call my family and do all the bullshit that they do to people that say things they don't like.
Oh, so you have to kind of be in hiding?
Everybody does.
Well, let's just say it wasn't easy going through the different routes everybody takes going on the YouTube. And I would say from the background, because Joey's background's pretty similar to mine in a way. I can't ever imagine not, like, I've already met the worst of the worst. To me, maybe, and that's probably why I'm having more fun as I go, and because it's just I don't know, like taking out the garbage, it sounds to me, but we've gone through, like, here's an example. Okay, I'll drive it home with this. Like, I was talking on a panel and something, dude, man, and it was like the drama, and I says, what's this drama you speak about? And they start saying some stupid, petty, just little baby shit. And I ripped into this. I didn't really rip it. I'm just like, unless you've been on live streams and then, all the things that Waffles just listed, the doxing, the kids, and the, I told him, if your fucking front door isn't blown off its fucking hinges on a live stream, I said, you have no problems in the sector you come from, scumbag. Oh, man, it was great. It was great.
Right.
It was almost like, oh, he hit his, just it was apples and oranges. And then I was like, okay, so I see a little light around here. I see people like in sectors or wherever the fuck they are. They seem to want to get away from all the bullshit. So slowly but surely, finding my way. Now I know why it was Finding Nemo. He fucking went into the open YouTube app and never came back.
And listen, and there's no welcoming party to this shit, right? And there's nobody's covering the news of the sector. There's nobody's welcoming at all to anybody new, right? If you're new, you got to get fucked with just like everybody else.
Right. And
then if you come around new and start asking questions about, hey, what's this, what's that, and you talk to the wrong person, then you get accused of jumping into shit and not knowing the lay of the land. Mm-hmm. But how do you get to know the lay of the land unless somebody, So it's all really meant to fuck with the average person, because these people know who the fuck they are. They've been online, especially around YouTube and Facebook, doing this shit for years.
Right. And the thing, Joe, is like to just like, like again, it's the law of attraction to anybody. Everything's meant for a reason, but it's the other upper hands that things that we have been a privy to. So, like, to me, it's in a way, the more it's that fucking NBC shooting star. The more you know, people. Yeah, there you go. The more you know, because some people, when they know bullshit on them, they stay clear the fuck away from you.
Of course.
And that's how life gets easy. So it's almost like I've been learning too, Joe. Right? I mean, it's like the more you know about some scumbag that I would consider a scumbag on here, those scumbags get as far from me as possible, because they know it's not really good for them when they hang around me. And when they they're trying to hang around this,
that's bullying. They pick on the weak.
Well, they're various things and to do. But the thing is now, if I just picture some, like Baby Doe in the woods,
exactly,
and they're talking to that scumbag, and then I don't know how you guys operate, whatnot, but like then I'll see like, wow, that person doesn't realize that, and he starts to talk bad about one of this scumbag's good buddy scumbag friends, not even realizing he was just on another joint, not realizing that he was speaking bad or not in favor of their messiah, so to speak, whoever's
You're still talking in generalities.
Yeah, because they don't know the connection. It's the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, like something like that on this. You know what I'm saying? So
you're not on Discord, right? Right, Vinny?
I've never been.
Right, and so I'm going to tell you right there. Anybody listening out there, right? this YouTube drama sector, if you're not in Discord or on Discord, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you have no clue what's going on. You think you know, but you have absolutely no idea. All this YouTube drama sector is just a very small window into a toilet bowl of Discord. Because that's where everything brews. That's where they collude with each other and vet who the next fucking the lonely impala is going across the savannah. Let's watch it as the lions fucking pounce. And that's what it is.
And then it
That's
got
all
to the
that it
point-
is.
And that's what they do, Joe, because a big faction of a lot of people didn't even really were doing a whole lot of Discord until certain events took place,
Of course.
during our history path, right? So you get these people now who are miserable lives. Look at me, I'm on Discord. Okay, cool, but it's no. But when you see, that's why kudos out to people who do the live streams or who panels on like this and whatnot, because you're this. To me, that's like you're not hiding from anything, and you're kind of the same. So this Discord shit was introduced to a lot of people. A lot of people fell into so many different traps of tracking. Number one, finding out who's got more information on the other. And what happens, Jeff, is they created a whole. If you want to know somebody, if I wanted to know something about somebody, guarantee you, in the circle of people I know, we'll already know who that person is, where they live, if they,
Because of your detective powers?
What's that?
Your detective powers?
Not detective. Listen, my detective badge was like getting in the fucking bottom of a fucking Captain Crunch cereal box. Who cares? It's just a title, No,
but
I still would have been me as me. If it been a bus driver, I still would have been the same fucking mindset.
There's now. I'm going to speak in very vague generalities here, but if you were so inclined, Jeff, if somebody was fucking with you or you wanted to fuck with somebody, all you would need is their YouTube URL. Once you got that URL, then you could set up a tracker. You open up a Discord server and you put a tracker, and then you fill that tracker full of bots and you tell the bots to do something. So basically, every time if you wanted to track me and make the waffles tracker, you could make it so every time I go somewhere, your server's alerted. Every time I chat, it's logged and then saved into a fucking Excel document. There's a couple of guys.
That's so high tech.
This weirdo in Australia who like he lives in Australia and his life is hanging out in United States drama sectors, recording everything and then saving the files to Excel files. So all of your chats are done, and then they're filtered. They could filter by everybody in the fucking chat.
Yep.
So with just a little bit of know-how, you can completely I've been tagged and in the wild for fucking a year now. They found me, they shot the dart in my ear, and I got the little fucking floppy GPS thing, and they track me everywhere I go.
So do they know you're here now?
Of course. Oh my God. If I open my phone right now, they're probably talking shit about me. You'll never believe Waffles is over with the fucking this stuff they say about you, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a pretty good idea of it. I've heard most of it.
So, and then whatever rooms I think I know, I'm smart enough to know that there's deeper rooms that I'm never going to see that these motherfuckers are still involved in.
Oh, so there's even layers of underneath
you could set certain rooms to be private with certain people with the roles and the fucking
Is there like a troll or a group of trolls at the center of all the trolling?
No. It's disorganized. It's organized disorganization.
Okay.
Because there's so many crews and nobody wants to bow to the other, and then eventually what happens is they get together and become friends, and then somebody fucks somebody's girl or somebody chats with the wrong person, and then they turn on each other, and all the information you shared with your new friend over the past year becomes the ammunition against you for the next year's content.
It sounds like gang warfare.
And sometimes, Jeff, they extort other people. And so let's just say now I was one of these nosy motherfuckers that know everything about you, but I didn't tell you yet. And then I tell you one day, privately, of course, and I say, Jeffrey, you were a bad boy 10 years ago. all this shit
Probably.
that you have, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you go, because now you're listening to me speak to you in a way that I've never spoken to you before because you trusted me as a friend online, right? Shit like that. So they extort them. Well, I can't let that information get out. Oh, you can't? Fuck you, pay me now. And then that information will stay with
That
me.
sounds illegal. Like they could report that.
That's the
It'll be
game of
like
life. That's
it'll be
life.
like Jeff got a speeding ticket 10 years ago. Let's GPS it. Oh,
But that
KKK is in the neighborhood. Jeff was visiting the KKK 10 years ago, and
But that within itself, Jeff, has all those many different facets of whoever's little tapestry of time spent with somebody. Like, like maybe they would just never know. Like one night, maybe someone confessed to something, and maybe a couple of times they've done infidelity, murder, shit like that.
What? God.
But let's just say that. Oops, maybe now they have to answer for shit like that and shit like that. It's like I said, it's an end. This what we're witnessing on this, and I'm so glad and blessed to be watching. This is all coming, let alone at what's happening here online. It's happening in the real world as well. Because when somebody says, "Oh, it's just online, it's not the real world,"
no, this is a petri dish.
It's
this is a little
right,
petri dish for the
it's
fucking world.
What this world, this universe is starting to get is the fusion now of people's physical fucking existence walking around outside as they feel as if they were walking around inside as a fucking digital character in this world, because these two worlds are colliding. This is in my opinion where that's why I signed up to be here for this time, and I have a feeling a lot of you guys are too.
Hey,
Because
Jeff,
people need to experience what this whole fucking world is, because there's not a lot of people that are gonna fucking be too keen to understand if they never realized where they were and what they said, even from like, okay, so let's just take it from me, Vinny Pots and Pans. I've been doing live streams since fucking before COVID, early 2020. So if I've come across your name ever since then, and whatever you've said and done and whatever, and you're still doing that and being worse, that just amplify that by, and those are the people, Jeff, that I get over the barrel. That sometimes to me, I call that a healthy meal. To me, that's like going to Peter Luger Steakhouse or some shit, and I slowly hit him with the bleed.
Yeah, Vinny likes to get down and dirty. I personally don't like to, I wouldn't panel. I first gotta get on a panel with you, and that for me just takes so much.
But the beauty thing is, it's like when they don't realize that, oh yeah, I remember I used to be on panels, and then when people didn't even know what being in the bushes meant. I was being in the bushes. I didn't even know I was in the bushes. But I was been in a lot of bushes. No pun, ladies.
Did you get tagged and tracked like waffles?
I don't know. A lot of wild animals do.
If he's pissed off the right person, and again, listen, I'm not trying to anybody who thinks I'm just talking about your server. I'm not stupid. This goes on amongst everybody. And do you think like this community, these people that have this ridiculous ego that think this community is everything, this community is absolutely nothing in the comparison of all of YouTube and then all of the internet.
Right.
There's a couple hundred people swirling around this toilet bowl. That's it.
But
like this comment right here though, King Philip said Discord is the multiplier. So I've seen Discord in my line of work. Discord as absolutely could build communities of things for other genres of let's call it content. I mean, whether it's knitting or fucking golfing.
Right. But you see, now here's the thing.
That's what I use it for.
Here's the thing with Discord, right, Jeff? You got to equate that, because I'm not on Discord, and I know there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes in different varieties of ways, but a lot of people, they're one way here. So here's the difference between so if they're one way on YouTube, people have been found out that they're really not that nice of a person, because they're only nice because they know they're on live, let's say so-called television, being broadcast to the world, the universe. And sometimes people, Jeff, never had that reality mindset to understand that, it may just be you on the big jam one day that the universe gets to see and knows your name and shit like that, because they get the feeling like, wow, all this time I said and did and whatever, someone was actually listening and recording me, and especially when I turn my camera on and shit. And that's what everybody else has on somebody with these technology guys like Musk and
But
all that.
I assume people know that if they're going live in front of the whole world, they've got
But
to
if they were a
know
different
that.
person, so it'll be like me. Like that's why I have a hard time understanding like where does the problems come from. Like I would be the same Vinny if I was on here on whatever it is on Discord, but people are different on Discord. It's almost as if now they know that it's just a smaller venue, not too whatever. So they're not the same because to me on this, it's almost like if you can't say what the fuck you got to say to somebody when you need to say it to someone on the air and you can't do it, you're a scumbag and a weak.
Oh.
Well, wait, hold on, Vinny. I think there's a difference also between if me and you had something to to get out. That's one thing versus being on a panel full of 10 people on a channel where you're already the enemy and you got 50 people, firing off in you. Like, let's be real.
But what I'm saying
it's
with
not
that,
equal.
though, Joey, is if I had that problem with you, which, I mean, I've had people called them problems in the past or whatnot, but there was never a problem that I've ever had with somebody or they've had with me, whichever which way it went, was never handled behind the scenes. Everything that I've ever did and dealt with any relationship or emotion someone else has, or they Fifi's got hurt or some shit, it's not because we spoke behind the scenes while I was eating dinner watching a football game. No. Everything that I've said and done to make somebody feel a certain specific way and vice versa was all done on live TV.
Mhm.
Nothing was ever not said. So what I mean by that, Joey, is if I really want to tell somebody something,
Please don't call me Joey. Please don't.
oh, waffle. So if
Yeah.
if I say to anybody, I'm going to tell you here on. In fact, I take this as the advantage play, where none of my communication would ever be misconstrued, because you could always go back to everything that I've ever fucking said,
Of course.
and it could be verified as true.
Of course, that's commendable. I was just saying that not everybody can
saying?
grab a link and jump up and maybe convey everything they're thinking properly, especially when when you're put on the spot or in hostile territory, when you got 10 people on a panel who can't shut the fuck up.
Right.
I'm saying that's different than two people having a discourse, whether that's in person or whether it was, a couple of us on panel right now. One's not the same.
like
I don't judge people if they can't perform for a panel. That was my only point. I wasn't trying to say anything other like about how what you.
Oh, because Vinny was saying if they can't do it, they're a scumbag.
Right. That's all I was trying to do.
What I mean by it is this: there's never a time now anymore where I'll sit on a panel and disrespect the channel, whoever's channel it is, right? So, and I'm not saying it because there is nothing between Joey and Waffles in it.
No, not at all.
But what I'm saying is that there could be now. This is the thing that I love about this kind of platform is shit. Is that if anybody really had a problem with me, all right, they may be tough guys, Jeff, and they'd be, let me go in the chat. I go in the chat. I mean, write something in the chat, and they'll usually do it behind a sock, which they're too weak. So you get different levels of weakness. Let's just call it weakness or what it is, or just a bad attitude about certain things. If you got something to say somebody, say the fucking thing, or don't let us all suffer in the wake of you not being able to say it to clear your mind. And what I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, if you got a fucking real problem with it and you're two-faced and everything's all hunky like a morning talk show host.
Yep.
That's the problem, because when you're all look out here and you're being all nice in kid gloves because the world is watching you on this platform as opposed to being in Discord saying that person, you're a fucking scumbag when I talk to you. So it's like two different layers of levels, and I find Discord is a way of going down. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but that's so easy to expose. Like anybody can post the Discord stuff if they want to.
No, I know, which that's what has been happening. What Waffles was saying is that we've witnessed all the brim cups of all social media platforms play out here on these open panels and this cesspool, because it's like Joey said, it's like no matter sometimes where you go, there's always a stench line right back to the toilet bowl source. Like one of the, somebody who knows somebody. It's the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon shit. It's like Joey and I are fortunate enough to have that privilege. and you could only have that privilege if you were around certain things that hey, listen, we're all privileged in knowing people online. But it's just a matter of that's how I've handled it. It's just like it gets easier because it's like you could sniff it and see them, and then you're like, oh, it's not so much I say you're guilty by association, because in true face value, I always look at the person and who they are and have they treated me and all that.
Well, let's respectfully,
You know?
none of these groups are claiming either one of us. None of them are tripping over themselves to say Vinny's with us, Waffles is with us. So respectfully, you've always been one of these. I can't use because I don't want to invoke Mike P. Let's just say loner then. You've been one of the loners out there who doesn't belong to a.
We're just mercenaries. We're just single, one-man operation.
Right. Nomads.
We keep down on the overhead. It's just one person. I don't even know if I qualify for health insurance. Oh, that's right. All the CEOs are getting killed by superhero. No, but you see, the thing is, and in Waffles, right? You see a lot of people. I've witnessed. If you notice, they're stuck. They're just like it's like they're stuck. Like they've always said. Like I've seen people now where they've like when I first met them, they're like, I just want to have fun, to have a good time, but the boo, I just want to get to, and then they just never move on, and then they just keep
Vinny, there's
the same fucking toilet bowl.
That's what I'm saying. It's a toilet bowl. It's impossible for this sector, for this community, right? Whatever you want to call it, it is impossible to build upon. It is like building on sand. You will never have a good foundation because this entire place, the reason the people are here is to see blood. They want to see the fucking fights. And if it's not fights about this or that, it's going real life and everything else, because just like all of us, we've been in streams where we're the audience. It's like a car accident. We all, you stop and you fucking rubberneck. Oh shit, motherfuckers getting doxxed. I know I probably, we shouldn't be watching it. Like, that's why people say, Waffles, you think you're better than everyone. I absolutely, we're all fucked up. We're all hanging around a toilet bowl. Like, we know it's a toilet bowl, smells like a toilet bowl, looks like a toilet bowl. You see toilet bowl shit going on, but we all keep,
and then once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's Waffles' perspective and his experience through his lensed eyes at this moment, which
I have seen the toilet bowl. I don't know if all of it is toilet bowl.
No, there's great people.
Pretty easy to spot.
Sometimes it won't resonate, but I understand exactly what he's saying, because on the different levels of perspectiveness, like to me, the address thing and whatever, but there are people that would have a fucking heart attack if they started to realize that people are, you have to understand that there is no anonymity if you decide to give that anonymity up. And some people just don't realize how stupid they could be. Well, on different occasions of being intoxicated, so often I find.
Oh yeah.
But I do get the enjoyment, because that's when I ask my God to say, I get a nice laugh at. I call it it really is. It's the fight before flight. It's like the crux. It's the fight or flight moment. I call it it's that moment of silence when the killer was just found out, but you can't see it in what he feels. That feeling when these people start to sit there and realize, especially a couple of nights when I had to explain it to them and show them that, oh, you mean you saw me 2 weeks ago on Venezuela's fucking AWD? Yeah. Not only that, I got your video. But yeah, and I know how you know me? How you know me? How I know you? I watched you eat popcorn for 3 fucking hours, making an asshole out of yourself, lady. How the fuck you think I know you?
But these are all adults, right? They know, they're
point is to that.
aware.
I'll have the joke, and then I'll take a break. Probably should hold me up. I don't know. There's nurses, other whoever out there. It's one drunk night on YouTube. Someone should make a movie, write a book about it. My one drunk night on YouTube, and then they forget. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's just making a stupid choice.
And this person could be a fucking politician. You understand the reference on it, but it's their face, guys. that knowing when I see it live through these whatever they call lenses, and I see their eyeballs look back, and then I see that that you, and I don't know what that is, but it's like, and then you never see that. I never see that person again. Normally, like, it's just that one little moment in time, one moment in time, sent that person into the fucking wherever, as far as way from being on any YouTube live stream.
I don't go around enough sectors to have,
I'm listening, guys.
Vinny's perspective. Mine is more different. I look at this as, my wife will watch, fucking, what is it? Temptation Island or Married at First Sight or one of these fucking trash TV shows. And this is my trash TV, and I actually equated to, this is like Walking Dead season 7, because I was really interested in the beginning. There were some good fights and everything, season, 2, 3, and 4, but season 7, I'm kind of losing interest, and I never saw how The Walking Dead ended. So this is my, I guess, guilty entertainment, my trash TV.
I think it jumps the shark at some point for a lot of people.
Of course it does. That's why I'm saying I'm on the downcline of that.
And Vinny said that people get stuck in this. There's no getting out. But I wonder if they're stuck, or if this is just the level that they're evolved to. Like, I don't know if they know anything beyond this.
Again, where can you go when everything you do in life will be questioned once your face and real name get out there? Once your face and name are out there, you'll get the sock accounts of your relatives in the chat. You'll be criticized for your speeding ticket or for whatever you did in your past. Again, I don't criminal damage to property, speeding. Okay, come get me. But there's people who probably did things in their teens that if they're 45 right now, like, do you really have to answer to strangers and avatars on what you did when you were, again, unless it's sexual, unless it's, something along those realms,
But if you have something in your past, you might think twice about exposing yourself to the world in this way. Like, one reason I do this is because I don't have anything to worry about. Like, there's not anything haunting me that I'm trying to keep the world from finding out about. But if you do have something like that, and you have something like that, you're taking a risk by playing around on here in front of the whole world.
I spray painted a billboard when I was 15.
Who's going to care about that, though, as an adult?
Exactly. So, but that's what these people do. They meaning these anonymous people behind avatars. Once your identity's out there, they take it upon themselves to screen you, to make sure that you're okay to be hanging around here and talking shit. Otherwise, they run around and chase you and accuse you of shit, and that's really all it is. So with that, what can you build?
Or they make shit up.
What exactly? So what kind of positivity can you build on this? There's been game night, people play Quiplash or, try to do online games and shit. Somebody starts trolling somebody else. It's a fight. 6 hours later, they're still fighting.
Well, that's somebody just not managing their channel and taking care of the trolls.
But that's all the channels around here. That's why I say it's
not
the toilet
this one.
bowl.
I don't let that happen on here.
Well, I think you're definitely in the top fray. Your own content is your own content, Jeff. I'm talking about when you're hanging out with the drama, especially the Cerrone. Let's call it the Cerrone sector, because there's a whole group of people that come with that guy.
That's a whole little mental health sector of its own with their fixation.
Yeah.
But I've been on other panels where people are a little more relaxed about the drama, and I don't tend to stay on those channels. Once it gets taken over by the drama trolls, I go find something else to watch or to do.
What would you say if you knew like a psychologist was one of these trolls? Like, I feel like that's one of those professions. If you're a psychologist and you're studying people like that, but you get your enjoyment from trolling people and fucking with people online, I think that's an extra like an extra low type of human.
Well, I mean, psychologists are human too, and
True.
they may have the same impulses that the rest of us have. So if they're indulging that this, I don't know. To me, I would compartmentalize their professional duties with whatever they're choosing to do on here, because I can see people that get joy or pleasure from this coming from all sectors of society.
Yeah. Shit, I'm in the trades. Um,
I don't enjoy it myself. Like I grew up with Jerry Springer and all those other shows, and
oh,
I can get that kind of drama anywhere, that low tier trash drama. So it's not
and
something that glues me to the screen like it does for these people.
everybody enjoys a good fight. Again, that's why I've been around where I am, but yeah, there's been some very amazing people I've met hanging around here, and then there's been the absolute, probably the lowest of the low, like ever in my life. I'm thinking, yeah, there's a lot of people I've come across in the very polar opposite in this sector. So
Yeah, I mean it's a genre that's always been around, but it's not to my taste, and I don't relate to the people that enjoy it. But I guess there's always going to be people that consume that kind of content. My issue is when they take it like they become destructive with it to other people. It's not just them passively enjoying it or participating in it, but they actively start to target people and try to mess up what they're doing, and they get some kind of pleasure out of that.
yeah, well, most of the cliques around here. I mean, it's
They seem like very small people. If this is the most they can think to do with their life and their power and their potential, and they get some kind of pleasure in seeing the effect, it's I don't know. It's like watching somebody slip on a banana peel, and that's the most joy. That's the most you can do with your life to get some kind of pleasure from. You don't have a lot going on in your life,
that's
so
a good analogy.
it just seems to come from a very psychologically small space.
Whoa, yes, that's why I was surprised to see somebody says they're in the business of that, taking so much joy, and participating in the fucking of people. So
Oh yeah, that would be kind of weird to me that they don't have anything more sophisticated to turn to
right,
than this.
right. They yeah.
Because I don't know, like if I were a psychologist, I don't know that this would hold my attention as much as it does. There's
True.
probably way more complex, deeper, stimulating things to get that from than the. This is so low tier. It's like I don't know. It's like watching wrestling or street fights or bum fights or something. It just draws a certain mentality. It takes a certain mentality or sensibility to be into it at the level that some of these people are, and I don't associate that with a lot of higher intellectual pursuits or any kind of moral sophistication or anything like that.
Oh, for sure.
It's going to
for sure.
draw a certain level of society. And maybe that's my own stereotyping, but that's
Yeah.
just the impression
No,
that these people make on me.
it's lowest common denominator content. Like watching World Star or yeah, here this guy says bum fights. Exactly. King Phillips says, yeah, some of the troll shit. Listen, I've heard some few people I've spoke to, some of the cool people I've met who've been around a while. They've told me about trolling that has happened to people, and when it, again, when it doesn't alter their lives like that, it doesn't go real life and isn't attacks like that. There's been some fucking hilarious things. In my experience, though, it was most of the time it's you offend somebody and it goes 0 to real life and nowhere in between. and there's a
You talking about like the swatting and calling people's work and getting people fired?
oh yeah, trying to find people connected to you. Oh man, I tell you, I should show you some of the messages I get on a weekly basis.
Yeah, to me that crosses the line when you start when you bring it into like people's families or relationships outside of that person, or when you take it offline and start bringing it into their home life or work life. To me, that crosses the line.
Yeah, there's a lot of habitual line steppers.
But I know, so it's also, though, they seem like the kind of people that are not going to have much respect for lines in the first place because they have a
Oh, right.
very poor sense of power,
Oh,
and they're going to try to test and push whatever small little tiny bit of power they have.
the worst thing you can do is try to set a boundary. The moment you set a boundary, they know that that's the button to push, and then it's
Oh yeah, yeah.
I guess that's probably why they went 0 to 100, because all the little the little BS doesn't work until they start mentioning families and jobs and some wild shit, Jeff.
It's wild, but I don't think it's anything different than humans have always been. I think it's given us a window into the human animal. And maybe before having YouTube and social media, we were able to keep a certain level of civilization, but that was still all under the surface because that's what gets civilized in the first place. And so with this medium and the anonymity and the kind of weak and slipshod moderation controls, it allows that to surface in a way that ordinary real life didn't. It just had more checks and controls on it. But I think it's just people being people.
Oh, for
It's,
sure.
I mean, it's
For
a bunch of barnyard animals and
Yeah.
jungle
People are
monkeys.
people, so why should it be that you and I should get along so
The luckiest people in the
awfully?
world.
Well, and YouTube's free, and let's be real, you don't have to spend any money on your channel or anything else to, there's a very low barrier for entry to participate in this fuck shit. That's why it's prevalent everywhere, like you said.
Yeah, and you can
with humans.
duplicate channel names. You can make
Yes.
multiple channel. Like it has very little controls over
But you know what
filtering
you
out.
can't change? Your reputation. Can't change that.
I don't know. I've never had to try.
It's like a rep. Everybody's got a rep in the perspective of the eyes.
Vinny, hold on.
Right, because my
Vinny,
rep
hold on.
is like 100 different
Whatever
people are
your
gonna
rep
have
is,
Vinny,
is
Vinny,
your-
wait,
different
hold
rep
on.
for me.
Respectfully, in real life, you are 100% correct. But you know goddamn well, if there was a Yelp page for Vinny Pots and Pans, you know what kind of bullshit these fucking trolls would fill that shit with?
I wouldn't care because I don't have Yelp.
It wouldn't be your friends and family out there saying Vinny's a fucking great guy. It would be Wilma Dickfit leaving you 1 star.
But the problem
Or-
between you and I on that would be I would never go to Yelp to begin with. Why
You
do
wouldn't
I
even
need
go
to to
look at
Yelp?
what they're saying
Why
about
would I
you.
want to deal with Yelp when I'm in my own life and having fun? Why do I want to wallow in misery of others?
Okay, touche. But
That's all I'm saying.
in this new
I
medium,
know what you're saying, though.
that's why I don't care about this, and I could be fucking Waffle
Right,
House,
but
because
you
my,
know
my
what?
real reputation only matters to the tangible
But the
shit.
thing is, where I was
Yeah,
trying to go
same
with
here.
that, though, is a reputation is only within the eyes of the beholder. It's no different than anything else. What that one person looks and thinks of you, that's the reputation they're going to stamp you, no matter what. And there's
Yeah.
nothing you could ever fucking do to change that, at least that one stamp. And that usually one stamp is whatever that one stamp would mean, that's very important to that person of what they think of you. But if you get the biggest stamp than them and stamp your fucking self and say, doesn't really make a difference what anybody fucking thinks of me or says about me. No matter what they fucking find out, no matter what I told them, no matter where they want to go, I don't care. Once you get to that I don't care part, if 1 million fucking people were posting about you on something that you don't need to see. You actually feel pity for the people trying to tell you to go see is where I'm at on my journey so far.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever cared. I have my own reputation of myself, and that's the only
Hey,
one
I'm
that
just saying that
really
on any
matters
level,
to me.
you know, but it is. But when I say this is meeting the real life, is that there are people realizing, such as your current politician, government leaders, whatever the fuck you want to call these fucking doo-doo-doos and chooch-deals, they're starting to realize truth matters. the truth. Yeah. And there's nothing they could do to ever get away from the shit that they've done in the past, especially if you did grow up with social media and you have a social media presence. What do you think? The first little fucking thing you ever did on this digital platform was never recorded? You got to be a fool to think that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to always remember a man created this on all these fucking crazy things. I understand it's here for a reason. That's because it's a divine plan. So, but they're thinking that they're outsmarting the divine and what's meant to be here. And it's like anything else, it's a game. But if you are a fool to think that whatever this Google machine tells you, Google was made by a man. And that man gets up in the morning and farts and got to take a shit and he's got hemorrhoids and bad breath and a bad relationship. And he's got to take, it's one perspective of him and go. The layers, these are the layers and layers and layers and layers, the box. It's a never ending nesting doll. That's what it's supposed to be about, but in many facets. And when you come across certain people, like who knows, next year from now, could be like some people I'll never fucking. Yeah, I'm glad I'm getting a chance to talk to Waffles. I don't get a chance to talk to at least a nice level-headed individual, such as yourself, Jeff. I guess that's why I come here sometimes. I don't. But you understand, there's not too many of, and I can't even say it to like-minded, and I'm not in it for the camaraderie of we must be friends and we get along because we think the same on this, or we think the same on that. But although we think the same on this and that, I don't look at it as an investment like anything else. If I just met you and it's meant to be, and we'd be, I'd be happy to say, like, I know so many people in my life, not all of them, but I remember when. I remember the first time I spoke to that person, and then how much more down the road of life they've interacted. Like, no different than adopting a pet or anything like that. There's always a beginning, but you only know in time, like Joey said earlier, is that time with the truth will actually be the beneficial change if you're on the right side of the stick. And a lot of people are going to be caught on the wrong side on all facets of life, let alone on this platform, every platform, because there's nowhere you could possibly go anymore without the truth being told. And what I mean by that is the collective conscious. So let's just say when they show you something bullshit on TV and they're lying like a spokesperson for so-and-so or a correspondence. When you look at that and you go, that's not true. When you go into that, amplify that by everybody else who feels the same way you did right then and there at that moment. That goes into a collective consciousness. That's if you picture the world, that's it. We're all on this place, but if you got that, and that builds up, it creates a bubble, and eventually it needs to manifest. It has nothing.
Is that where the downloads come from?
No, I don't even know.
Oh. Because, I don't know how the individual consciousness.
No, I'm talking about like collective conscious. I'm just saying, like,
accesses the collective.
You've never, like, how many times has a certain phrase been said would be like as big as it would be like as a balloon bubble or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have one person in one room and 100 people in the next room, and 100 people are watching the Jeffersons, and the one person is watching the Jeffersons, there's more collective conscious energy between the two of them because he is.
Oh yeah, like when people get together and watch a movie together,
it
amplifies the
experience. He's a mash guy. I don't even know why I'm using these.
Oh, I like the Jeffersons.
Maybe because I saw someone that had George Jefferson haircut online today. It was fun. If there's one person thinking about lemonade and 100 people in the next room thinking about milkshakes, the milkshakes will override the lemonade frequency. Okay, you understand how this works?
Not really. I kind of understand the concept.
Better. How about if the 100 people in the room are thinking lemonade sucks and nobody should have lemonade, and that one guy's thinking of lemonade. So he's getting drowned out by the frequency. His frequency still exists, but it can only be heard on the lower level of someone who cares about such interaction and example that I just
But why does that matter to the person that enjoys the lemonade? He can still have his lemonade.
Exactly, he can. But the thing is that now, Jeff, you hit the nail on the head, because it's designed to make you think that those 100 people are going to succeed in doing what they say they don't like. like take your guns away or do this and that. It's to rile them up, get that emotion, and get down there to the Ethernets of the world. Oh wait, we call Ethernet cable. Interesting. Get it out to the Ethernets, Jeffrey. We need that energy in the sky. So when it hits this certain frequency, I can see the beams and we can keep on moving these poles and lines. Shit like that. It's energy. It's the frequency of it all.
Yes, that's where that's
It's the
a that's
energy
a
of that
stumbling
one
block for me.
person
This
thinking about the
energy
next
shit
day.
and vibes and all that. I don't understand any of that.
It's the one person, let's just say they love guns and they're avid, whatever people do with them and whatever. And it just took that one time that she heard on the TV, their damn television. They want to take your guns away. And for some reason, now that sent them in a tailspin. Tailspin in an emotional state of wasting so many precious moments in the future if they're going to constantly think, oh, I don't want them to take my guns away. Oh, instead of just spending time knowing that you're all right. And you don't need to worry about shit because the things that you like in your life will amplify if it's on a positive track. No doubt. If you're out there with a gun having murder, I think the collective consciousness, the source energy of love would say, you need to stop that, boy. But if you're using guns in a nice way and any other way that's nice, then God's going to let you have more. Yeah. You do get rewarded here on this plane is what I'm finding out. And what I'm also getting downloaded right now, Jeff, is that people, I'm going to get this right. People are more concerned about that moment, but they don't realize. But that moment exists simultaneously in a way. That's not making sense to a lot of people. I don't know.
It didn't to me.
But you see, now if that's like, just comes in like that, Jeff. And and you know what? I tell you one thing. There's not many places that I go and talk the way I talk when I do talk about stuff like that. Especially you want to talk to the ones that claim they love you as family. Think you're fucking bots and crazy and shit. Well, I say live your fucking lives. Whatever you see, you see. Whatever you hear, you hear. Be smart. Don't be fooled by another fucking person on this planet again. Fool me once kind of shit, whatever. You shouldn't have fooled me once. I want to hang out with people who aren't looking to fool me. I'm finding out people, that's all they want to do in life. They want to fool you and pretend there's something that they're not. They want to They wrap it up in a package because when they're in the spotlight and on stage, so does anything else like a YouTube panel. Well, it's a whole different element. When I could speak just like this as I'm speaking in the house, and I'm proud to send this kind of talk and message and energy out into the universe because this has been landing somehow, some way, being on a live broadcast with Waffle's perspective, your perspective, and whoever else watches or comes across this fucking thing, because I've learned these messages are timeless, because the collective thought of it all still exists until it pops, until it manifests, and then it goes again and continues on again. So that's the infinity, Jeff. It just never ends. It's
the moment.
It's it. It's just, that's it.
It's like a circle.
And we all have it all in our
Figure
own
eight.
time. Yeah, it's
the flat circle. Time is a flat circle.
Right. Like God, I mean, to me, there's certain things in life where you always hear people, oh, if I would have known and I would have got that ticket, I would have been that million, or some shit like that, or oh, I wish I invested in this or that. And what I'm feeling on when it comes to stuff like that is that this information and these, whatever the fuck it is, there's something I feel is going to be coming out more and more as we go along, because it's the faster, the bigger the light, the quicker it comes down. Once the right energies and frequencies illuminate it out of its darkness. You see, there's a lot of shit in what man has been hiding from men. That's the problem. Man has been hiding things from men. And obviously I'm saying as men and women, I'm talking about as a human collective species. There's information since the beginning of when they had fucking hieroglyphics of flying carpets and pyramids over the sand. There's a reason why they have that shit. And so they've been trying to hide. I mean, you understand? You know what I'm saying? So
Lord of mercy.
it's always been that way. It always has been that way, and it's the crux of it is where it's going to interact since its existence. Because since this point, if I'm figuring it out like this, it's definitely in some weird cosmic whatever it is. And I'm proud to be delivering or saying that because I'm having fun. Because the more I think about it, it's actually happening for me. Watching this all take place. Shit that hit the fan for people they thought they got away with 10 years ago. It's coming right at them. In whatever form of fashion, from a guy named Luigi or whatever.
Oh,
Stop.
I know.
I don't know. I think he's a
Italians this day and age. Well, see,
violent murderer. Violence is bad. Don't be Luigi.
Of course,
That's
it's
not
bad.
the way. That's
And
not
look,
love.
that was a bad joke, but I'm just saying, like, it's gonna play out. What is meant to be? How could it? Whatever it is, you just got to tell yourself it's meant to play out. Worry about your self attitude, is what I say. And you don't even have to do that because you don't worry about nothing. When you don't fucking worry about anything, you wait till you see how fucking life is. You're gonna look through life at such a different lens of like, if you're thinking it for yourself, worry about your self life, which is your fucking life, nobody else's, nobody. If you're hanging around and doing things on a daily that is miserable to you, it's only up to you to cut that misery out. And if that misery is a spouse, if that misery is a job, if that fucking misery is a fucking hemorrhoid, you take care of it.
Cut it out.
You get it out of your life. You stop wallowing in its energy that's overcoming you. You don't need to go to a doctor to get the prescription. Start there. Yeah, I mean, in a way where, but always keep this in mind. It's always just like we're meeting here, but this toilet bowl that we call the YouTube Streets Open Panels, it's to me the like at the end connecting piece of saying at the end of the day, a scumbag is still going to be a scumbag. So it's no different. Right? This to me is like walking into Madison Square Garden completely dark, right? And I'm trying to find my way to the middle. And when I found my way to the middle, then I start looking, do I see any light? If I know I'm in the middle, okay. And then, all right, well, I kind of see something over there because that's kind of the same thing that I think. And then boom. And then that part of the room gets illuminated a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more.
Like Plato's cave. Just
right. But the thing
darker.
is, inevitably, the light always catches the dark, especially a negative dark, because not everything dark is negative. And I want to make that clear, too. I've learned that recently. It's interesting. But the thing is that the truth will always get that. It's just always going to come out, no matter what it is. And I think this is the time where it's either you're going to have the stomach for the truth that you're going to learn and see what and why we're here and what other men since the beginning of time with technology and whatnots have been fooling the rest of us for centuries on many different levels. It's not a collective. I'm just saying on whatever kind of perspective spectrum you're riding on. Is all I'm saying. Is like whatever true, whatever. Like I remember the first time that just the thought of the human trafficking. Like because there's some things people don't think about, and if they don't think about it, there's no fucking thought. They didn't send it into the universe. The more people that think about a certain issue is where the solution can come from, and it's always going to be the positive side of that. Now, can the negative come out in certain forms and fashions in different ways and here and there and interrupt? Like you'll have some other weird thing happen in life. Yeah. But by and large, if more people are thinking about that one thing or seeing it, they're all collectively in a cloud. And, they could, no matter what fucking walk of life they come from, if everybody's thinking about the color orange or whatever, all at the same time at one time. Like that's why they have moments of silence shit, is what I'm learning and picking up. But the moment you do that and the bigger that thought goes, well, then it has to manifest.
I think I need to go download some coffee.
I lost myself on that.
I was going to say, I got to manifest dinner for my family. Otherwise, my future is the couch. So
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and blast too, Jeff. I don't know. I'm losing myself as well.
I
Well, I
appreciate you,
think we
Jeff.
got a lot from you today, Vinny. So, yeah.
Appreciate you, Jeff. Vinny, nice seeing you, sir.
You too,
Waffles,
Waffles.
All right.
always a pleasure, man.
Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, this was cool. I hadn't spoken to him in a while.
Yeah, I'm glad you came on.
Yeah, like I said, and it's a marathon. It's a marathon.
Oh, yeah.
And and
and
and
it
I
was.
always say, why do people do things that they don't like to do is beyond me. But we do it.
Yeah, same here.
We all
Same
do it.
here. Unless every now and then, if you have a clear purpose for
But
doing
it's
something you don't
right, and
necessarily like,
not
that's one
everything that you
thing.
do that you're not supposed to do is considered a
I think
roadblock.
it's like bad habit formation and childhood patterns and all that other stuff.
But the clearest highway in order to have that, where you really don't want that, is on your emotional freeway. When you're constantly on your emotional negative, that's what you really have to really take a look at. Because if you're emotionally in a state of just miserable,
Just
that's the
change,
problem.
put on the right clothes.
Well, that too, but it goes beyond. It's just you know you, you don't want to emotionally. You know, it's not like you going out and eating or drinking soda. Or I shouldn't be. It's nothing like that. I'm just saying you could do all that, but on an emotional scale, that's what they'll say. Oh, the guy's rich and he's so happy, but who knows? Guy could be miserable. Poorest person in the world could be the happiest person on the world. We don't know, but it's kind of like that. So, sometimes, but on your emotional scale, from what I've learned to where I am this far, and thank you for allowing me to share. I mean, most people fucking cut me off and throw me backstage.
No, I noticed you took much less breaks today. I don't know if that's a sign of
I'm
anything.
excited. It's good. It's good. I like getting downloaded on when I'm live, meaning with you here, because it is live and it's live all the way around. This is what I find is where I learn what and how I could do different things of what I learned why I've been in here, because it's the instant connection we're making right now. You're that satellite truck outside Madison Square Garden with the satellite.
Oh,
And
Lord. Well, it's beaming to
the
at
other
least
joint. Right,
796
and I'm at my
subscribers.
joint with another satellite truck, which we'll just call ourselves. Right? We'll just call ourselves. We are that because we can connect at the right time, for the right frequency, for the right moment, through which is timeless. When anybody comes across this talk, and we're just doing it live on the fly, which I think is pressing and very a better way to be consistent in documenting the transition that people are going to start to witness. Some people are witnessing that this reality of digital footprints is definitely outside everybody's door, and in one form or fashion or another. And there's nothing to worry about anything. But people are going to have a hard time looking in that mirror, Jeff. And I think it's going to be like what 444 and I was speaking about earlier, is that when people look in the mirror, they're going to see who they think they are. But there's going to be that day they're going to look in that mirror and they're going to see who they've become. And it's going to tell a completely different story. And at that time in your life, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever do have the pleasure of having that moment in life, I would always suggest that you want to get as far away as if you didn't like what that mirror showed you. And with that, I bid you adieu.
Thanks, Vinny. Okay, I think I don't have any way to top that. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to go get my coffee, and then I'm going to head to Discord to start that Social Dilemma movie documentary. So that'll happen in the next 10 minutes or so in Discord. So you can join me there. If not, if I'm not out this evening, tomorrow, like I said, I have a in-person thing to do. I'm not sure what time I'll be home, but on the way back from it, I'm going to try to stop and get some fries and stream it. So sometime tomorrow afternoon-ish, look for me at least getting some fries. And then I'll try to do a panel after that when I get back to the house. So thanks a lot, guys, girls, whatever genders we have with us. And I'll see you next time. All right. Take care. Love. Love. No violence. Love. All right. Take care.